Warning: the views in this program are based on the opinions of hosts and guests. We are four friends who like to sit around and talk about a variety of topics. This show may be political in nature and may appear one-sided if no one of opposition joins in on the conversation. We try to find common ground on sometimes sensitive topics. So grab a beverage of your choice and let's have a conversation.
You go home and cry to your granny. Dolph, tie up the brat. Lisa, hold the book. Vincent, get the truck. And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Boris, try that. Keith, you know? Oh, watch out for Keith.
Hey, you changed the intro. It looks great.
I did, oh, you didn't? I played it last week. You didn't see it?
Apparently, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
we usually spend the intros talking amongst ourselves anyhow.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to Coffee.
I was going to say, for those that don't know, we spend a lot of time pre-gaming before the show.
Somebody's volume's on.
Maybe it's mine.
Okay.
Sorry.
I heard the feedback. I was like, somebody's volume's on.
I'm glad it wasn't me.
Yeah, it wasn't you.
Excellent.
So anyway, welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles. It is Friday, December 3rd.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God it's Friday. Waiting
I
on
know,
Lindsay.
right?
I don't know where Lindsay's at, but she'll come. Eventually.
What's the timetable?
I don't know. Yeah, well, never know. So how you guys doing?
Who are you talking to?
John and Wendy.
Should we make some introductions?
I am. I'm going to.
We're doing
you guys are remote, so I figured I'd talk to you guys first.
So we're back here at the hacienda, and things are going good. And so I am in my my little office here, and Wendy's over in her office, and we're doing good. Nothing too crazy I can think of this week. We haven't traveled anywhere. We haven't gone and done anything that's been exciting.
So you guys can talk shit about each other, and you can't hit each other. You're in separate rooms.
That's right.
Well, there's not real time hitting, but she does know where I live.
Yeah, that's true.
She does.
Point. So very cool. So we have a couple of special guests tonight. We got Taylor and my brother Rob joining us.
Nice to meet everyone.
So
It's a lot of Davidsons in this
room. A lot of
room.
Davidsons in one room. It's kind of scary.
Yes,
I'm
It's a good thing.
true.
What are you talking
I don't know. I feel a little,
Intimidated.
Outnumbered.
yeah.
about? You are. Just know
I am.
you are. Yes.
But I got the baby set and he's watching you.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Oh,
cool.
awesome.
Oh, hi, Alex.
We had to wait for the Boris thing to go down before I could leave the room.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
tickling until that was over. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, good idea.
So we got the whole family watching
Yeah.
tonight. Then,
Mom's
so.
on.
Yep.
And somebody's daughter might be watching.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah.
We'll
should
have to
jump on
see.
Dot's on. Aragon Stories
Dot's
is
on.
on. Yep. Wait till you see Dot's ornament. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
I'm excited now.
Yeah, I know. I'm
I
excited
know.
about that.
Can't wait to see it.
All right. So what do we want to kick off with? We want to kick off with the memes of the week?
Let's do that. Let's
There's a really,
something
I got a
fun.
really good one.
We have a lot of good ones tonight.
I was a little overzealous on the memes of the week.
I know. You kept sending them over. What the hell are you doing, John? That's all right, though. They're funny. I like them.
So that means you had a slow week at work.
No, stop that.
No.
Don't say that. People are watching from work. You don't want.
As long as you got a shit done, you're fine.
I do
right, here's
have
our
off
first-
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
fine. Oh, it's nice.
I like this one. That's a good one. It's
This
pretty
is a good
funny.
one.
Too soon?
No,
No.
definitely not. Too soon.
Perfect timing.
Not even close.
This is a good one too. I like this one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No
Yeah.
kidding, right?
That is good.
Ain't that the truth?
This
on,
is
new
prob-
variants.
This is my favorite one.
That was
He needs his
hilarious.
ice cream cone.
Right?
No, that's not going to show up on the butt picture, though. He's
Oh,
scanning
that's
his
true.
butt.
Well,
That's
that
This is
could
what
be,
comes out.
you know, something else that comes out the front side.
It's horrifying.
It
Was
is.
that too soon?
No. This is a good one.
Yes, I love this one.
Man, you guys picked some good
Yes.
ones.
This is a good one.
Isn't
No,
that the
what was
truth?
the one I sent you that was the same thing?
It's coming
Only it
up.
was about the Omniron variant. And it
Oh, was that the
They're
one?
talking. No, it was the same picture, but
Oh.
it's different. And he was like, they're talking about the whatever her name is case. Send out the new variant, and she's like, Omniron variant, go, go, go.
Oh, I think it's kind of the same one.
Same one, but it had different wording. It was hilarious.
This is a true
It
statement.
was funnier in my head.
Yeah, it's sad that it's true.
Sad that it's true.
I love this one. This is so telling.
That is my favorite one ever.
It's awesome. This is the one you sent in.
I
The
sent
Forrest Gump
I
one.
sent the gas one and the Forrest Gump ones
Yeah.
because I hear his voice. I'm not a smart man, Jenny. But shouldn't the cases go down as the vaccinations go up?
You
Jenny.
can't hear it, right?
Yep.
In my head. Jenny.
I love this one. This one was good too. I showed you this one earlier.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yes.
I am waiting for that to
That
come
one's funny. They're
somewhere
just gonna
from.
go door to door and start doing it. This is good. too.
Seriously, just knock and run. Like
Right?
the kids that throw the shit bags.
We'll have to
And as
watch
you run
going down
after the kid,
street.
Yeah, after you run at the kid throwing the shit bag, they'll just shoot you in the neck.
I've seen this one for a couple weeks now. This one.
I saw this one.
Did you see the debate he did with his
With-
two dolls with Trump
Yes.
and Biden? Oh, it's freaking hilarious. Did you guys see
No.
that?
No.
Oh, it was
I'll have to do that.
hilarious.
No,
Oh,
I
Is that
guess
something we need to watch after with another bottle of wine?
Yeah, I guess so. Right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's, it's
Good with
funny.
that.
It's
Why
funny
not?
as hell.
Did everybody see my new cup?
I like it.
Hey, I know
like
that
it.
person.
Is
Do you
that
think
Ella?
that's your person?
I think so.
I think so. Looks
Ella
like it, yeah.
Canole. I think I know
I
her.
might know her too.
Hi, baby.
What'd you
You
say?
could be
Ella
here.
Cannoli? What'd you say?
Ella Canole.
Ellen Cannoli. Yeah, you said it right.
I never knew we named it that, but that's
Right?
okay.
Hey.
You know.
Yeah.
You didn't know you snuck that in
I
there?
didn't sneak
That,
that
you
in
know.
there, no.
Nurses have been known to change the birth certificates. It happens.
I heard about this. I heard about that.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
All right, let's do some
To
news
add an
headlines.
extra letter, you know.
You want me to go
News
first, John?
headlines.
Can
You
we
wanna go?
can
What?
we appreciate my gnome
Let's appreciate your
Very
name.
nice.
Yes.
that holds a
very
half a
appreciate
bottle
it.
of wine?
How do you know that?
Because
jealous.
there's a half a bottle of
Wow.
wine in
Wow.
it.
Hey, you know? Wow.
She had to test
That's
it
how
out.
I know. And I'm going to know fully if it fits the other half of the bottle and they're equally when we're done.
So you just can't tell how
That's
far out that nose sticks.
No.
That's true.
It's-
That's
is
true.
very
Well,
true.
this is my hand and this is the cup. So
Don't,
really- it depends on
don't
the
be
angle.
doing measuring with your hand. That's
it's a
very,
big cup.
And men get very frightened by that.
Get very nervous.
I'd say, whoa, Lindsay.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
She just flip you off? Is that,
No,
is that what that was? Wow.
She's doing the little tiny, so you didn't know it, but she's hiding it behind her microphone.
We're getting
I was.
we're 5 minutes in. We're already getting feisty. Look at
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah.
9 minutes.
I'm monitoring now to see if we get kicked off YouTube. Early.
Okay, yeah, you
That's
watch
true.
it.
I'm usually worse as it gets later, but
Are you on
you
Rumble?
know,
Or
first
no?
time. Oh no,
Oh, you better sign in.
sorry, I'm not
All
even
right.
paying attention.
You want me to do headlines first? Do you want it, John?
Should probably-
You go ahead.
All right. I don't have a lot. So this is one from today. Fauci vaccine makers could make Omicron specific booster. Interesting.
I like Omniron.
Omniron. Is that what you said, Omniron?
I say Omniron
I
because
had a
it
hard time
sounds
searching it
It
earlier. 'cause I
sounds
kept
like-
misspelling it.
the Transformers dude.
I'll stop with that.
It is kind of
That's
a
what
cool
it
name,
sounds-
though. If you
yeah.
think about it, if
Like-
you're going to name a variant, you
So-
want to name it a Omicron.
Like Delta, you're like,
Delta, it's an airline.
That's
right?
true. You think
yeah, you're like
Yeah.
that's not exciting. Like Omniron, like you're a Transformer. Like,
Omicron at school. You know,
come on.
I should have been named Omicron. I like like that.
You should have
I
been.
think that's a good one. Yeah.
Omicron Davidson.
Why not?
You would have been OD.
Oh, Dave. Excellent.
Oh, yay.
All
What's
sorts
your
of
middle
fun
name?
things. Steven. Yeah.
OSD.
OSD. There you go. Not too bad.
Omron Stephen
I guess
Davidson.
it's not too late. I think I could.
You could
still do
change
that.
it.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You
You
could,
can change
but
it.
you
always
could
change
also
it.
be named 87.
Yeah, there you go.
Freedom is on
Do
the
anything you
table.
want.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So next one is
10
jurors
minutes.
that.
10 minutes in.
How do you say
Joe.
your name?
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine?
Yeah, so the
That
H is
doesn't sound very
silent.
good. Oh. Okay.
Ghislaine
That's
Maxwell.
not a good
Ghislaine
name.
Maxwell.
Her
Anyway.
name is
Maxwell.
Ghislaine.
Just
Like,
So-
we are only 10 minutes in, but Jizz like Jizz Lane?
It's Ghislaine,
Like a
yes.
Jezebel.
No, like dude's Jizz,
All right, all
Jizz
right, all
Lane?
right, all right. With the, hit the mute button, will you?
What? And
didn't
we
do my-
wonder why we're having this conversation.
Hey, you told me this doesn't happen until about 45 minutes in.
We
It's
just
usually,
No, it's-
hey,
yeah.
didn't you remember the conversation that I've already had half a bottle of wine?
we probably already lost Facebook, so we're good.
We usually get about 30
Mom,
minutes
are we
in.
still on
haven't even-
Facebook?
we haven't even gotten 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
So
Mom's watching Facebook,
so
so
they
Mama,
have-
let us know if we're not in anymore.
There you go.
So they have photos of Epstein's massage table, photos of sex toys. That's good. That's awesome.
Ew.
This is right up your alley, Rob.
But your name is just Lane.
The sex toy?
No.
Oh, all right.
Hey, you don't need to know about that. That is all.
LAPD, stay aware of surroundings, at-home robberies increase.
Yeah, we've actually seen that. That's true.
Have we?
Yeah, yeah.
We've
On the
seen
news
that
at least.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
more-
true.
more
Like
and more.
even our neighborhood, we've
Yeah.
got people breaking into cars and
Yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
In broad
yeah.
daylight.
in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Don't get me started on
across the
Portland.
board.
Well, that's why you should defund the police.
That's why you need to
Yeah,
move
exactly.
here.
Yeah. Well, we're in Oregon City,
Yeah.
so it's
Move here.
30 minutes
Oh,
away.
you're in the best
Move
part.
here.
I saw a great video today of a porch pirate somewhere up in
Oh,
the
did you?
cold states.
Oh,
that-
what?
So a porch pirate. So somebody coming, so they pulled their car, idiot, pulls his car into the driveway, jumps out, runs up to the door to go grab the package off the front stoop. The owner is standing right, walking up to the door and happened to hit the camera on his phone and is recording. So as soon as he opens the door, the guy's like, and he goes running back to his car. And so he
Thank you,
backs
Matt.
the car out and backs it into a snowdrift. And he's sitting there with his wheels spinning and he's trying to get away. And so they call the cops and they fast forward to the cops coming and arresting the guy. It's awesome.
And he's still
I
stuck
saw
there.
that one.
Wow.
Karma.
Didn't
That's
the
funny.
homeowner give him a shovel?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think the homeowner gave him a shovel.
By the end of it.
Oh my
That's
god.
so funny.
That
You
was-
felt bad for him.
He did. He did.
Oh.
He felt.
Why not?
The
I would
cops are-
not have felt bad for you.
You want to
I'd
see a
have
good,
started shoveling you deeper.
Right.
What was
you
the
want to see a good car
I
chase.
don't know. Oh, that's not good. So
My
Governor
air fryer.
DeSantis proposes a $3.5 million 200-member Florida civilian guard.
Interesting.
Go DeSantis.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
interesting.
him.
Me too.
Can he be in charge?
He can.
Yeah.
He might
Next
end up
president.
being.
Thank you, Jesus.
Maybe one day.
Yeah,
yes.
next president.
So some local news. Arizona
I'll be his
reports
VP.
5,236 more COVID cases. Hospitalizations are up.
Is that the Omicron variant?
I don't know.
Omicron.
How do you say it?
There's only
Omnic-
5.
Omicron.
Yeah, actually,
Omicron.
yeah, that's a good question. There's only 5 confirmed cases so far in the U.S. for that, but
Oh, 6.
I
It's up
want to know
6.
because
6
you.
now? Is it 6?
6.
Okay.
How
Okay, yeah.
are you
Yeah.
testing this?
I'm not,
Exactly.
but I appreciate it. I'm just not.
How are they
Yeah.
testing it?
So they'll test the genetic makeup of the virus itself, and they can.
So
tell
they're
the
testing it through
variants.
blood.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it
Okay.
works. Yeah. Yeah. But naturally,
Our hospital didn't do that. That's why I was
Okay.
wondering.
So viruses adapt anyway.
Yeah.
Right. They mutate. So this isn't
This isn't new.
new. Flus, right? Influenza every year. Cold viruses. You can get. There's 150 different
Million. Yeah.
rhino viruses going around every year. So
SARS
they
with
mutate.
kids
Yeah,
forever.
Yeah, it mutates. So that's very common.
It's not going to go away. But the good thing is, as it mutates, as long as it doesn't jump,
Mhm.
it gets weaker
Well,
because
typically
it wants to live. So it's not going to be harsher on
Yeah,
us.
That's right. We discussed this last night. I
Yes,
think you.
it's
and
not
I.
going to be
Yeah.
harsher on us. It's going to get weaker because it still wants to survive.
Yeah, the virus
So
has
it's
to survive
great.
to infect, right?
Yeah,
So,
so-
the most dangerous viruses are the ones that can infect for 10 to 15 days, and then obviously you can have a death, right?
Yeah.
A terminal. patient. But most viruses want to survive, and they want to infect as many people as possible.
They want to
And
just
that-
chill.
And that's why they lose that. Yeah, exactly.
That virulence.
Family events must be really a blast with you two start drinking.
Turns out real good.
Oh, awesome! Yes.
He gets his M&Ms. I get my wine. We're good.
Yeah. This is a health show, but I will say that I did command some M&Ms.
You did.
tonight, so.
Half of them are disappeared though because they're green.
They're green.
That's right.
Moderation, folks.
All right, John, you're up.
All right, I'm up. We're going to start on the economy as always. Lithium prices are shooting up, disrupting plans for electric car manufacturers along with cell phone manufacturers, laptop manufacturers. I mean, like prices for lithium went up 280%
Oh, bro.
wow.
since the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody had seen this tweet. This is actually still up. I took this screenshot a couple hours ago. This is literally a screenshot right off Twitter. So the DCCC says, thanks, Joe Biden, for gas prices going down. It went down
A
2
penny?
cents. 2 cents.
No,
Thanks, Joe
mine
Biden.
did not. It's still
Thanks, Joe
370.
Biden.
We got
it went
nothing.
down.
Yeah, where are they getting that information from?
That is wrong, and ours is
What-
higher than
what
340.
state? What state
I
is
will
that?
100% take 335 or whatever that is supposed to
You
be.
should come over.
Right?
No, I'm good,
Oh, my
thanks.
Yeah,
You wanna
no
get
thanks.
some gas
I'm
prices.
way good.
California.
Are you
What
guys
is
up to
it?
6?
Yeah, what
I'm
is
gonna
it?
wait.
It depends where. Yeah, if you're going to downtown LA, Beverly Hills, it's $5.80, $6.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I thought like
It's crazy.
$4.29 was expensive.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
I cry when I fill up my car at like $32.
That's crazy.
Keith physically cries when he fills up his truck for like 80.
I cry too.
I can't
get
even
it.
imagine what his truck would be in
Oh, yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I only
Yeah.
drive downhill now.
He's like, babe, I can't come home. It's
Yeah,
uphill.
exactly.
Sorry. Not till Friday when I get
Yeah,
paid.
yeah.
I gotta stay down here for now.
We got to
You,
push
you,
it for now.
you say that, but I used to be stationed in Hawaii, and we lived up on a hill, and it was about a separation from, I think it was 35 feet above sea level to 800. And so going to work, I think it was like 2 miles, I literally would start the car, pull out of the parking lot because we lived in a townhouse, and then it would just idle the whole way down just for the power
Yeah.
steering and power brakes.
Yeah.
And I actually got a speeding ticket once.
Oh, yeah. Because you'll start going fast.
Wow.
Southern border, Texas law enforcement report reveals scope of the border crisis. So we're averaging 22,000 or more illegals every week at this point from over 40 different countries. This is as of 10/27 to 11/2. 68% of the illegals are not from Mexico. They're saying a lot of them are from Cuba, from Chile, they're all over. And so
Well, yeah,
honestly,
you opened up the borders. They're just going to come in from everywhere. I'd be escaping some of these places too.
So how
And
are
so,
they getting
you know,
to Mexico?
They're probably
that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just.
Is someone just
Yeah.
dropping them off?
Flying.
Well, they're taking boats, I'm sure, to there and then
Boats.
either walking or driving or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So then, that being said, now the federal government has made it to where you have to have a COVID negative test one day before entering the country, unless you cross the southern border. So that being said,
Oh,
the Omicron variant, the WHO says that the Omicron is in 38 countries. No deaths have been reported.
yeah.
Nebraska becomes the 6th state to report the Omicron infection. Omicron. I'm putting an extra
Omniron. See,
N.
I told you. Transformers,
Three times
baby.
fast.
So
I take it
Nebraska,
back, I don't
California,
want that.
Colorado,
Omniron, you don't want
Hawaii,
it.
Minnesota, and New York. The news source I had, so I guess, they say that New York is 50% of the infections, but the math doesn't play out here. If there's one,
They
two,
have
three,
6,
four,
so they
five,
have 3 of them.
there's six locations, and New York is half of them. I'm not sure how this is happening.
That's
But
tough
anyhow,
math.
yeah, that's tough math.
That's
So-
I mean,
tough math.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
get that.
that's-
Sorry.
That's racist math.
But isn't New York is that core whatever?
I'm
core
done
critical
drinking
math?
for now.
Common Core.
Yeah.
Common core math.
Yeah.
Carry the square down and
This WHO warned the travel bans will not keep the Omicron cases out of the country. but they also show that no evidence, like Keith has said, no evidence boosting the entire population offers any greater protection to healthy individuals.
That is so true.
Anybody that's seen, so Australia, I said this last week, Australia has those quarantine camps. Now they have escapees. I'm not making this up. They
I
literally have
can't say
escapees.
whether or not that would be me, but it'd probably be me.
That's what happens.
Oh my god. Well, so it sounds like the virus is less
Weakening.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
It
it
is less
passes through
serious, so-
everybody each time, it's going to weaken each time.
So that's
So
good news.
right here,
Yeah.
like it says, South African Medical Association chair says that the Omicron cases are extremely mild so far.
Yeah.
Yay.
And then other disturbing news, you see that the FDA cleared Eli Lilly for a COVID drug that
And
is
Merck.
supposed to be for kids under the age of 11.
Yeah, and Merck just came out with one as well.
Seriously.
So, yeah. With very low percentage efficacy, it's really not that well studied yet.
No,
So
not
it's
at all.
pretty
And kids
interesting.
are barely getting
Yeah.
sick anyways.
Well,
Right.
True.
they're
There's so many
test
ways
subjects.
to keep the immune system up that we don't even talk about. In the
Why do
news
we
and
talk about
media.
that?
And we're going
Yeah,
to talk about that
exactly.
tonight.
You're so silly.
Yes.
We can't actually talk about you not eating fried food and
Well, yeah.
not being 500 pounds to actually keep yourself healthy.
And I
Don't be
think John,
silly.
you mentioned. I think they said as far as healthy individuals being you're keeping your immune system up is the best way to protect against it. So
Yeah.
Oh, we're
that's
actually
so
saying
accurate.
that
There's
now?
No question.
Yeah.
Well, I think you read something about that.
We
just
are
recently.
actually saying that. Wow.
I saw that.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
Dot, I'm not ignoring your comments. I will put them up after the news because we will talk about those a little bit. So tonight's a good
So
night
let's-
to talk about that. So
I'm going to skip over this Moxie real quick because it's actually another page I want to show. So,
Okay.
as I said last week, all of a sudden I've become a huge Elon Musk fan just because he's basically told the internet, screw you. So he's moved his official headquarters from California to Texas. So they're going down to Austin. There's a new study that says that Americans prefer companies to stick with business and stay away from politics. Actually, 30%, I thought this was funny, 36% of a minority of voters agree that unequivocally companies should speak out on social issues, while 63% of corporate executives. So that kind of spells it out all right there. Obviously, everybody's heard about the Michigan school shooting. Don't know if anybody heard about I think it was a 16-year-old that actually lunged at the shooter and
15 or 16, like football player, right?
Yeah, football player. He got shot. He ended up losing his life over it, but they are crediting him with possibly being one of the key reasons that the shooter got stopped.
Wow.
And
Yep.
so
Oh, wow.
another student died today. I think it was today. So the count is up to 4, unfortunately. There's I haven't read how many were actually shot. So,
And not passed.
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
yeah, those that are in the hospital and such, but there have been several that have been shot and already released from the hospital, so that's just horrible. Those that haven't seen, the parents have been charged as of the last couple hours from this.
Yeah.
And
Saw that.
Yeah.
yeah, so the mom actually, did you see that? I mean, this was the most disturbing part of it, was the fact that when they heard about it, the mom texted the student. So those that didn't hear some of the background, a teacher actually caught him he was researching on his phone how to buy ammo. And so she sent him to the principal's office. The parents ended up getting called and came to the school that day. Had a
The
conversation.
day that it happened?
Whoa.
The day that it happened, the parents were there in the morning with the principal, with the student, with the whomever else, the cop, the
Counselor, yeah.
somebody. And then so they warranted, or they said that there was nothing that warranted any further action. They let him go back to class. Nobody searched him.
Oh my
No.
God.
They didn't think that was a red flag.
They didn't take him to
Nothing-
the
yeah,
hospital,
nothing,
like
and-
psych evaluation.
I mean, the school resource officer even said that, he would have thought under normal circumstances that the local police department would have at least gone back to the house and verified that there was nothing to be concerned about.
right.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
And
if all
nobody-
you're doing is
Oh,
researching
geez.
ammo, I can't really say that that's. I mean, if you're
Right.
a hunter's family, that's not I mean, playing devil's advocate, that's not a reason for you to get the police called on you.
So, I mean, it was, there
If
are a
there's
bunch
more
of,
to it, then sure, but
I mean,
you're
hindsight is always
literally just
2020.
True.
yeah.
But being underage and not supposed to have a gun,
That's well, yeah, but I mean, if you're just researching ammo on how to buy it, like that's not.
But doesn't
Yeah,
that
it's
fall
not-
back on? Doesn't that fall back on the parents? A
If I
little
was
bit,
his
though?
mom, I'd have whooped his.
Right, exactly. I mean,
I know, right?
That's why the parents are currently under arrest.
Yeah, well, they should be.
Now they say
I'd
that it's
have
rare.
whooped his.
It's rare that a gun owner actually gets charged with something that somebody else does.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
Well,
this
it's the
kind of
same thing
ties
as if
back to
somebody
the
steals
whole,
your gun, right?
and they're being prosecuted under the guise of they didn't secure the weapon
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I read that.
efficiently enough in a home with a minor, blah blah blah.
Yep.
So,
And I
but
would
it is
agree with
interesting
that.
that when they heard about it, the first thing the prosecutor said that the mom had admitted that she texted the son saying, "Don't do it," as soon as she heard
Oh wow.
that this
Oh
was
my
going on.
gosh.
School.
Oh wow.
I mean, that's
Oh,
a
I'd
little
have been
chick.
driving there and be like, I'm gonna
So
beat.
she knew those.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She had a feeling that
She
this
knew.
was
Right.
happening.
Yeah.
So if you had a feeling that your kid's gonna be a mass murderer,
Right.
And he's
Taylor, you
looking
better
up-
lock his.
But that was my
Yeah,
point,
he's
though.
Looking up ammo.
This kid clearly
like,
has something off.
Yeah,
Right.
and,
I
and
mean,
especially
Yeah.
parents knew about it. They
You
should've-
like if
Right.
you
that's-
had this
that's a
suspicion.
hospital
Yeah.
situation.
If you had the suspicion already, and he's looking up ammo, oh no, boo boo,
Yeah.
like we're off.
Well, and
Like,
there's something else, and I forget off. I thought I was going to remember it, and I don't. There was something else that he had some drawings of, like shooting people or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, see,
You know,
You're
something.
getting-
There was a
He
note that
has-
had
Those
some
are
drawings
just a
on it or
couple.
something.
Could be some
But,
slight-
you know,
There's
like
red
that,
flags,
actually.
but they were ignored.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
that's-
ignored, as always, right?
That's-
So in politics, the government has avoided a shutdown till mid-February. Biden has announced a renewed effort to combat COVID-19 during the winter months and promises no lockdowns or additional mandates, even though I did also hear that they're saying that vaccine mandates for anybody that wants to travel airwise domestically. We'll see.
boy.
Masks have been extended till March. International travelers must test negative unless they come across the southern border. And if you haven't seen, Germany has announced a national lockdown for those that are unvaccinated.
Really?
really?
Wow.
Wow,
What?
Yes, that went into effect. It's either going into effect or is in effect right now.
Wow.
That's scary.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
And,
Yeah, that's not going to end well for me.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court is hearing on a controversial abortion case for Mississippi, and they're saying that this may potentially have some ramifications on Roe v. Wade. So we'll see what happens there. But just to make sure that everybody understands, this does not strike down Roe v. Wade. This turns it back over to the states as it should be.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I have two topics as well. Crap, I have to try to remember them because I thought about them while you were saying yours.
Okay, well, I will
Scroll back
stop
up because
sharing.
it'll make me think of it.
You want me to take it off, John?
No, I'm thinking.
No, because she's looking at
Did you hear that bill collectors can now message you on your social media
What?
Really?
Why?
to collect your debt?
Really?
Because they are updating with the times.
Not accepting any more.
Don't be a deadbeat.
Yeah, seriously.
Huh?
Don't be a deadbeat.
Well, there are laws against what they can
Well,
and
they
cannot
have-
do.
Yes, and they
Right,
have to
right.
give you an opt-out option.
Oh.
But they said since your phone now tells you when it's a scam or a bill collector, that they're not able to communicate with their, people who owe them money.
Really?
Wow.
So they have to go to social media.
Okay, that's interesting.
That
But
is
it can't be on a
interesting.
public forum. Like it can't be, like
Oh, they
on
can't
your
be blasted?
platform and be like, Taylor Davidson, stop, pay for your car payment. Like
Darn it.
it has to be a
Found
message.
out.
Dang it. Like,
I mean, I didn't put
Yeah.
kind of along in the same vein
It's a
as
text
that is-
message. Yeah.
There was something that just popped up today I saw, but I didn't put it in the news because it's still just in the bill stage, so nobody's actually voting on it at the
Yeah.
time. But there is a bill out there to create a national database of vaccinated and unvaccinated.
Why would there not be?
I believe that.
Why
Isn't
would I
there
be
already
surprised?
a national database?
But there's probably been a couple different
but it's
I'm
not
sure they've
updated
tried past
at
it.
all.
No,
Not
they're
even
slow.
close.
They're slow, but they're trying.
I'm sure they are. They're too busy showing.
That's why I'm not worried.
They're so busy. They're too busy blowing blow darts that they can't update the database.
Very true.
How can I get on the database when I get hit with the blow dart, though? Like, how?
Exactly.
Come on now.
True.
That's
True.
an anomaly. That's an outlier.
That's all. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
don't worry about that.
Microchip.
Man.
I'll be tracked because the blow dart ones get a microchip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be it.
there you go.
That's why. So they'll know. It'll be fine.
Man, I go back to what I've been saying the last couple of months. We're living in some kind of dystopian nightmare. that
We are.
We're not going to wake up from. I mean, this is weird
We're
shit.
not waking up from this, unfortunately.
I don't
It's-
get
I
it.
mean, a year ago they would have said, "Oh, that's just conspiracy theory."
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not.
and
Yeah.
we're like right in it.
No.
Conspiracy
Yeah.
theory.
Right?
Didn't
That
I
was
say
another
this?
meme that was another meme that I actually had from earlier that I almost sent as my meme of the week, but I figured no, that's just a little bit too dark. And it literally said, anyone who's ever read a history book is now watching world events right now and going, oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's true.
100%. So didn't I say this from the beginning?
What?
Wendy, John, you remember this? When everybody's like, "Oh, it's gonna go away," I'm like, "It's a virus.
It's not
We
going to
will
go away.
never be rid of this. It will never go away. It's always going to be in some form or another because it's a virus. Viruses don't die. Like
And they'll always mutate.
they're always going to mutate. It's
Right.
always
Yeah.
going to be somewhere."
So
That's
people
why
talk
I
about-
got so angry at the overhead signs that said it's your shot to end COVID-19. It's like,
It's not ending anything.
exactly.
There
It
is
was
no
sending
end.
the wrong
Right.
message because there are those people that think that because if everyone gets the vaccine, it's ending.
Bless you.
it. It's not.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I want to bring up a couple of Dawes comments here. I don't want to
There are
forget
just
about
some
them.
people.
So,
Virus is really an exosome which attempts to neutralize toxins. Toxins cause illness, not viruses. I removed my toxin 18 years ago. Haven't had a cold, flu, virus, or infection since.
there's some
awesome.
truth to that, right?
There's definitely, the virus is the vehicle, right?
Yeah.
We actually, in drug delivery technology, use viruses to actually deliver drug actives.
'Cause it
to-
gets in.
for
You want-
cancer patients and things
You
like
want to
that.
give people
Oh,
some
yeah,
of your
good point.
background?
That's a good point.
That way they know you're not just a quack off the street that we.
we dragged him in with M&Ms and wine, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, what do you want me to do?"
I was hitchhiking
Here's
today.
your
and,
script.
Yeah. Say that.
Go study this with your M&Ms.
He's like, "Okay, that's why it's half empty.
Yeah, I could do a little
Because he's
background.
studied.
Just 25 years in really in the pharmaceutical biotechnology world. So don't hate me. I'm a small pharma, not big pharma.
Baby pharma.
Yeah, baby.
Like
pharma.
baby shark.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Try,
Yeah.
really
Baby shark pharma.
baby shark pharma. Actually dedicated to really getting medicines out to where they need to be distributed, like third world countries, emerging markets. So my background is in the biological sciences. In undergrad, and then my graduate degrees are in infectious disease epidemiology. So I know a little bit about viruses and
Just a
diseases.
smidge.
But so happy to be here and talk about it. That's for sure.
Woo.
Cool.
Yeah.
But very naturopathic.
I
You are
believe
very-
I believe
yes.
in healthy. Yeah, absolutely. Take care of yourself
Instead
keep
of
your
just
immune
take
system
drugs.
Up. I mean, I think the bigger pandemic we have is vitamin D deficiency in the world
Yeah.
because of sunblock and things like that. So we can talk about that. We can get into that. I don't
Not
wanna-
even
Yeah.
that.
Don't
But
wanna divert
even,
you.
even
D as in
without
dog or
sunblock,
E as in elephant?
D as in
D as in
dog.
dog.
Yeah, vitamin
D as in dog.
Yeah, vitamin D.
But-
People think let's wear sunblock, let's cover up, and that's that's important. You don't want to be in the sun too long, but you need some of the sun, and you
Yeah.
need that to convert to vitamin D. And since we've
Well, and even
initiated sunblock and
Yeah.
sun's the evil devil, we've had more and more vitamin D deficiency and immune problems. So you see
I-
probably more autoimmune diseases. That has to do
huge.
with the foods too, but we can get into that.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot to cover. I think just on this show, you can probably do 10 shows out of this.
Yeah.
But the reality is, vitamin D
Huge.
deficiency. If you look at the correlation between D deficiency and the virus, right, COVID severity, you're going to see a pretty marked increase in severity of cases in
With
the
deficiency.
vitamin D deficiencies, and then obese patients, and that has to
Huge
do
and
with
all that,
receptor
yeah.
sites and other things that we can talk
But
about.
even if you just look at vitamin D deficiency as a whole in
Right.
human beings,
Sure.
with no virus or no issues,
mental health.
it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Vitamin
Yeah.
D is huge. Like you
Vitamin
look
D.
at, yeah, mental health, all that
Okay.
energy, everything.
Absolutely.
You just go from, you guys know this, going from Chicago to coming to Arizona. Guess what? Especially in the winter,
Absolutely.
there's no sun.
Yeah.
People
Right.
freak out by like March. People are crazy. Like
Yeah.
they start
Seattle.
losing it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's
No, they have
huge.
that seasonal disorder.
Exactly.
Yes,
And it's vitamin D. And
Mhm.
even in Arizona in the sun, we're still deficient.
Yeah.
It's just your body uses it for everything.
No, and there's some really strong epidemiological studies that show people that work out in the sun
Mhm.
a lot
Mm-hmm.
have less incidence of cancer.
Oh,
from
yeah,
skin
huge.
cancer. It's really
Like our
interesting
roofer
stuff.
guys today.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll do great.
yeah. I mean, sunblock. I get it, but putting a chemical on your body that when the sun hits it, it actually cooks the chemical and
Yeah.
converts it to something else.
Yeah.
There might be some dangers
It's
there as well.
50-50, yeah.
Good point.
But are you gonna take a chance?
Is that how
So-
it works?
Well, you're putting chemicals in heat, right? So it changes and denatures the structure of those chemicals.
And
So
you absorb
never
it
know
through
what
your
it's doing.
skin,
Yeah, and then it's on your
I
skin.
never
So
thought of that. I just assumed that it was like reflecting it in some
Yeah.
fashion.
Isn't that why you're
Yeah.
supposed to do a physical SPF?
You are, yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
chemical.
Exactly.
So is that why they're finding people that use sunblock? Is that why they're seeing instances in cancer
Oh,
increase,
I mean,
or is that
it-
not?
You could look at that. If you
Yeah.
did a meta-analysis, you may find some correlations.
Right.
But,
but it'd be hard to
yeah.
push it down, to an
I think,
exact.
I think you could look at it and probably.
Find
Figure it
something?
out.
Probably find something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would think.
Well, those daily
Yeah.
like sunblock, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Taylor, tell us a little about your history and how you came to get into health and fitness and
Into
Yeah.
the Davidson family.
into the crazy family.
Well, there was this guy named Jake,
Yes,
and
that's true.
then it ended.
Yeah, I don't know. I love health and fitness, and I went to school at UNLV for kinesiology and sports medicine, and I became an EMT, and I loved that. And I worked as a medical assistant as well at OHSU. So that's kind of my background, but just as a whole, I just find it fascinating, and I love biology. So yeah.
So
Good job.
one of the things I talked about last week that I want to bring up this week is kind of talk to people about what the word disease really means. So, a lot of people think disease automatically is cancer, it's heart disease, it's diabetes, but disease is much broader than that. I explained it as anything that takes you out of homeostasis is technically your body's in disease state, right?
Right. That's a great explanation.
So we are automatically, just by what we
Living.
eat, by what we can, yeah, right, exactly. by whether it's pollution, whatever it is, the environmental conditions, the food we eat, everything, we automatically throw off our balance, right? So
Sure,
we're automatically going in on the losing end.
Processed foods, yeah.
No, that's a good point. The good news with that is the body fights like hell to stay in homeostasis.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
It really does. And that's where it wants to be. That's its natural progression. So I think, if you give it a little help, a little push,
Yeah.
and it doesn't need a lot, you can maintain that. You can
Yeah.
maintain that immune system, that healthy body, that, free of disease, so to speak.
Right.
But we all go in and out of homeostasis. There's no question about it.
So there's a lot of people out there, and especially coming up on the new year, a lot of people do their New Year's resolutions. I'm going to diet. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do all this stuff. And we already know diets fail. We're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So nutrition for me is a lifestyle change. If you want to start eating clean and healthy, you have to make that change, and it's got to be a permanent change. So how does nutrition affect COVID? How as far as somebody being more susceptible to getting a worse case of COVID, if you're somebody who's unhealthy in that respect, does it have an effect on it?
Well, you're hurting your body, right? I mean, you're not allowing your body to work properly if you're not fueling it efficiently. So I feel like
absolutely.
Right?
And there's obviously enough data that shows that the side effects of not eating healthy can be obesity, right?
Right.
So a lot of people that are obese that are getting the disease are having issues with it, right? So they're the ones ending up with the severity of the disease, ending up in hospitals,
Ventilated, all that.
ventilators.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's actually because I don't know if you want me to get into this, but the virus attaches to what we call the ACE2, binding sites,
ACE2 receptor.
Right.
receptor sites, and that is prevalent in adipose tissue. It's in lung tissue too, but for obese patients, you're going to get a higher proliferation of the viral load because of that. So that's something that shows. I mean, eat well, be healthy.
Yeah.
You're going to have a better immune system and better support.
So is
Yeah.
that, so let's say, because it shows up in adipose tissue and
Yeah.
epithelial cells in your lungs.
Right.
So let's say if I am not obese, of course, it's still going to attack my lungs equally as it would attack me if I am obese, but I'm also giving it more targets in that adipose tissue. So I'm giving it more targets in my fat cells, making it stronger to attack my lungs.
Right. And then you're also already, because you're obese, you're taxing
Everything.
your system anyway,
yeah, your
right?
livers
Your
are
respiratory-
over.
liver,
Yeah,
respiratory,
respiratory is over.
liver,
Yeah.
Cardiac,
Yeah.
So you
Everything's
think
already
about that,
overloaded.
right.
Your heart can be fatty. Your liver,
Exactly.
Yeah.
like all that's already struggling
Correct.
already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You're just
Thank
not
you.
giving it a fighting chance. I think if you're overweight
Well, if you're
and
if you're already fighting at 60%,
Yes.
and you're hammering another 40 at it, well, that's like 20% now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it difficult.
As opposed to being at 100 or even 80%,
Yeah.
and you're getting that 40. Now you're at 50%. And you're like, I can still I'm gonna feel like crap, but I can still do this. Like,
Yeah.
But you talk about nutrition. You look at nutrition, right? Nutrition's it's made up of what? It's made up of chemicals, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Everything you eat, whether it's
Everything's-
natural, synthetic.
Yep.
So
it's all different cells, different
Right,
ions, different.
right.
Yeah.
So whatever we put in our bodies has side effects potentially, right?
Yeah.
Or it has benefits. It just depends, right? And a lot of times we do have to find our own sweet spot in the nutrition
Yep.
world, right? What we eat. Some people can't eat peanuts because
Yeah.
they're allergic to it, or they can't, whatever.
So they
it is.
can't use the benefits of that.
Right,
They have to go
right.
to something
Right.
else.
Right.
Yeah.
But food is like a drug. It is a drug. I mean, food is a drug. So what you put in your body, it's going to affect your body, your physiology, your biochemistry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whether it could be good and bad. So
Yeah.
you just got to be.
But you just have to be aware of it.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Dot said, I repaired my gut, removed my toxins, repopulated my gut bacteria, and cured my so-called autoimmune disease.
Well,
I
I love that comment
actually-
about the gut. We could talk about
I
Yes,
have
gut is very
so
important.
it. Yes.
Move your mic closer.
I don't know if
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
you're that story thing you have to do
My mic-
closer.
turn it towards you.
Okay.
The
Sorry.
end is where you want to talk to.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
All right. Sorry.
So have you heard of the it's not appropriate. I'm sorry, Mom. Close your ears. Where they replace your poop.
Yeah, I've heard
Replace
that.
it?
Yeah.
They
Well,
do.
they
Don't-
change it. Right.
Yeah, it's a-
So they
That's right.
literally clear your cell, when you go in for colonoscopy and they clear your cell. So they use
Your fecal matter.
donated stool.
Fecal matter is a nice one.
Fecal matter, I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
that's
yours,
very
it's somebody
good. Good and
else's. They
clinical.
use donated stool and they put it back in. Yet they make sure it's healthy. They clear it like it's not all infected or anything. But they put it back in and it can reset your system. So they were actually looking at MS patients for
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Huh.
That makes
Really?
sense.
And they've had
Interesting.
they've had some good results on it, but of course it's not something that insurance is going to cover, so there hasn't been many on it. But I've heard of that with some autoimmune diseases. Like they
yeah.
literally just clear you out and they put something new in that has all the nutrients and it sort of resets everything.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Not a
Well,
week goes by without Lindsay creating a visual in my head.
You're welcome.
Well, I have a question on that, Lindsay. Maybe you can help me.
Yes.
How much do they pay for the donation?
Actually, it's pretty good.
Can I
It's the
sign up?
same as like sperm.
Oh,
like
yeah, all
it's
right.
pretty good. It's
good
pretty
pay.
well.
Okay, all right.
So-
Just
I'm
wondering.
not sure how they remove it though.
Yeah, that's a good-
because it's
Let's
not-
find that out first. and then we can
I
talk
don't
about
think
it.
it's
Yeah.
a pleasurable
Not the natural
donation
way.
like sperm
So-
donation would be.
So you have a sperm bank. So is it a poop bank? So
It
you-
literally is.
It's
no
it sounds
joke.
like it would be. So
Like you
yeah,
literally call the
Yeah.
stool transport people
that's interesting.
and they bring you a bag of shit.
Hey,
Well, the
Chris,
gut-
thanks for jumping on.
And we're talking about shit. That's
Everybody
all.
Aren't
said
you glad?
transplant.
Well,
It's a poop
yeah.
transplant. It is.
You mentioned the gut
Jake
though a
said
couple of times. You,
Fecal,
mentioned,
it is actually a fecal transplant.
is
That's what they
fecal.
seriously call it.
you talked
but-
about the gut. Now the gut is actually considered the brain of the immune system. I don't know if you know
100%.
that, right?
100% agree.
So because we have good bacteria and bad bacteria,
Exactly. And that's
which
why
creates signals to the body, and
Mhm.
that's really interesting. If
It
you really
is.
get into that,
Yeah.
not my expertise, but
They've-
when you do the research, it's
and
pretty
they've done it. I want to say I've seen it twice. The patients we had, one of them had like ongoing Crohn's disease, and the
Oh,
other one
yeah.
had like an ongoing bacteria infection that was in her stomach from like having sepsis years ago, and she could. Like you had when you took those antibiotics, like it took you forever to get right. Like it was something like that. Like she just always had issues,
Mhm.
and they did it for her, and amazing. Like
Yeah, I've heard
no
great
issues
things
after
about
that.
it.
And
I-
But I don't think it's done enough to like show any real results.
And
But it
nobody
makes
really
sense.
talks about
it
that
makes
either.
sense.
That's true.
Well, what are you gonna like? Hey, they replaced my shit. Like, what are you gonna?
Yeah,
How do you bring that up in conversation? Like,
that's true. No one's talking about that really.
No, not
for me, at
really.
least,
It's
yeah.
not dinner table talk.
no.
So I imagine.
Apparently, it's coffee table talk.
Was it Dot that asked the question? I believe right?
About the guy,
Or-
yes.
Or,
Yeah.
actually mentioned that's how she did
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
So I imagine that was through good nutrition and really, finding the right
To
foods for the
rebuild.
body to rebuild and
Yeah.
to do that. So congratulations on that. That's awesome.
8% of
So-
our
Yeah,
diseases
yeah,
come
that's
from
right.
the gut.
Wendy, have you seen that the Dot had said homemade kombucha will repopulate the gut bacteria?
Oh, nice.
Fermented
Mhm.
foods.
Yeah,
Yes,
Wendy
fermented
likes
foods.
the kombucha.
Oh,
Did you see
Good.
what Taylor put there?
What Jake said.
Only that would be Jake.
Yeah, turkey based.
I was thinking more like one of those pastry things.
Oh, yeah,
God.
like the cookie shooters.
yeah.
okay, I'm out on the
Cow pie?
donations. Forget me. I'm out.
That's not how they retrieve it, so
Oh,
you're
good,
fine.
okay.
There goes your weekend money.
They
Got a
actually,
side job.
they
but that's the end
actually
of that.
use the shop vac.
Yeah.
He's
Rob
a
is how they
turkey
get
based
it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I like it. I like
yeah,
Turkey
Just
bacon.
turn it on real
That's
quick.
funny.
it. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Ugh.
awesome.
yeah.
And then they
great.
use something to shoot it back in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so, right?
I
Could
don't
be
know.
messy. All right.
Yes, and that is 100% Dot, especially with the.
Antibiotics
Antibiotics.
are terrible.
But you know, the funny thing is, a lot of people don't
That's
know is most
Mhm.
doctors won't tell you this, but anytime you take an antibiotic, you should be taking a probiotic at the same time.
That's correct, yeah.
like
Yeah.
huge, and depending
really?
on the antibiotic, like
Yep.
3 or
Yeah,
4 times a day.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I've never once had a doctor tell me that.
Yeah, they don't know
No.
though. Doctors don't know a lot about nutrition. I
Mm-mm.
mean, they do one
They don't.
class.
No,
right?
it's like
They do like one, not even
section,
one semester.
Yeah.
a
Like it's
very
literally
small section, and like it's even in when I was going to school for my
Mm-mm.
bachelor's, it was
Nope.
like such a small, minute thing, and a lot
Yeah.
of the information was even out of date.
Yeah,
It was like
it's
Yeah,
not
that's true.
anything.
each day it would change. I would go into class and like, oh, well, actually, it's this, or a study says
Well, and it's
this,
always
and-
going to change, but
Yeah.
you have to have a general base knowledge of how things work.
But doctors are
Yeah.
not there to prevent disease; they're there to treat disease.
Yep.
So there's such a
Yes.
different, mindset
Yeah.
when you talk about a doctor now these days. MDs, there are some doctors now that are looking at, how do we make people not get sick?
Yeah,
right?
and I think
preventative, but-
it's been
yeah.
very, and I would say probably the last 5 to 7 years, it's been very holistical based.
Well, that's where DOs have now become more popular
Right.
because
Yeah.
they're
That's
more
right.
holistic.
Yeah.
That's
so
right. Well, I think I
Yeah.
think this pandemic has actually helped that too, because I think people are more aware of their health. They want to take health
a
into
little
their-
charge.
Right, they are. They're doing it with even cannabis for pain.
It's kind of scary
Yeah.
though too, because they're doing it not in the right way as well.
Sometimes, yes, that's
Yeah.
true. But
So-
the awareness factor.
But they're looking.
is good, and I think
yeah.
that's a great pivot potentially can create some good critical mass.
Yeah.
In
At
that.
least they're paying attention.
Exactly.
Right.
They're
And-
looking, which is good.
Yeah, that's the
So-
first step.
Exactly.
So
I think it becomes kind of a generational thing. Take a look at, so Wendy's father is a prime example. He has a few heart issues, and
He comes
he's
a lot.
supposed to be,
He comes up a
He's
lot,
fine.
doesn't he?
It's totally
yeah,
fine.
and he does, and and he's supposed
Totally
to be
okay.
healthy, and so he has, what was it? What was it that he had, Wendy, that one time?
Oh, gosh, I forget. Where they have the fluid around the heart and the lungs.
No, but I'm talking about the
pericarditis?
deal
Is
that
it pericarditis?
Yeah, that could be pericarditis or something like that. Yeah.
he had congestive
Congenital heart
Congestive
failure.
heart failure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
fluid too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
and so then he was supposed to be eating healthy, and they drained all the fluids and stuff, and then they said, you got to eat healthy, and lay off the cholesterol and all those types of things, and next thing you know, he's out having chicken, not chicken parmesan, but
I'm like, what do you have, a
Chicken
salad at the
Alfredo.
bar with his
Fried
two
chicken
beers?
Alfredo. Yeah, well, it's chicken.
Heart
It's
attack on a
healthy.
plate.
That definitely is
Yeah.
generational, no
Yes.
question about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double
I-
cheeseburger after. heart
But you want to
surgery.
know what? I have a great uncle who is, oh God, probably over 100 now, because he was 2 years younger than my grandfather. My grandfather died at 98. So he's
Wow.
my grandfather's
Nice.
brother, lives in Tucson, hasn't passed away that I've heard of yet. Would have a pound of bacon a day, a pound of bacon a day. He would eat half in the morning with breakfast. He would have his other half as a BLT for lunch and have a steak for dinner every single day, and he would run 3 miles on his treadmill.
Jeez.
Whoa.
He was on the Atkins diet
Dang.
early, huh?
For real.
Yeah,
definitely on the
seriously.
Atkins
It's
side,
working
yeah.
just fine, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
But
wanna
it's,
put up-
it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
outlier, right? Yeah, that's why we talk about nutrition,
Yeah.
finding your sweet spot.
Yeah.
right? And that's
Yeah.
really the key.
Apparently it works.
Yeah, we're not. That's why medicine is so backwards. One prescription for
Can work.
everyone doesn't make sense. It's
Right.
No.
really, it's really
Everyone's
based on your
makeup
genetic
is
makeup.
different.
That's
Well,
right. That's
and
right.
you have
and
to
you'll
know
see
your
that
body.
more and more now.
You
you'll see-
have to know your
You'll
body.
You'll see the advancement of personalized medicine and personalized nutrition. It's coming to the forefront now.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're realizing. you
But
can't-
people have to take responsibility for that too, because
Right.
I went through that with my MS. My doctor's like, "This is the best med for you." Well, he never talked about vitamins. He never talked about nutrition. He never talked about any of that. If I wouldn't have looked into that and looked into why vitamin D is so important, why vitamin C is important, why calcium is important to MS, I would have no idea, and I would have probably been in a wheelchair by now because I had 6 flare-ups in a year. Like it was
Oh, wow.
so bad. I had so many steroids I had to take. But since then, once I figured that out and I balanced it and I found my sweet spot, like Rob said, it has been 5 years since I've had
Yeah,
steroids,
see,
since
that's-
I've had an issue at all. And I've gotten sick twice. Usually when I get a cold or something, that's when I get sick.
Mhm.
But I haven't had anything. I even got sick twice, didn't have anything.
Well, I
so
think, yeah.
it's you have to take that responsibility. Your
That's the
doctor's
key.
not going to look for
That's,
it.
Well,
that's the
that's-
key is taking responsibility. That's what Dot's.
That's
basically-
and I like
Oh,
Dot's
yeah.
comment because I think
Yeah.
we've lost that in our society
Yeah, we have.
where everybody just does what they're told.
Absolutely no.
And
That's
nobody-
absolutely true.
Nobody takes it upon themselves to do the research.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No question.
because my phone's supposed to tell me.
Right? Exactly. So Chris says it makes me wonder if all my heart meds contribute to my immune compromised arthritic psoriasis.
Absolutely could do some research on your heart meds and see what's going on, and then have them do some labs and see what your labs look like. Have them pull everything. My doctors never pull my vitamin D. I'm like, hey, you're doing labs for CBC and CMP to check my liver. I want to look at vitamin D too. Okay, sure. I mean, they don't want it, but I want it because I want to know what's going on.
So Dot did the carnivore diet.
There you go.
Oh,
The bacon and the steak. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm good with
That's
that.
it.
Plants contain
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Does that
Yeah.
include wine?
plants contain
Absolutely.
anti-nutrients that block vitamin absorption.
Yes, that can be true. Yes, that absolutely can be true.
And yeah, psoriasis.
Psoriasis is rough.
That's
Oh.
hard. It's-
Yeah, that is rough. Any there's so many autoimmune diseases, and they're all tough in their own
But
sense.
I think also we've done so many of them. We did this to ourselves.
Yeah, well, I think society has a lot to do with
We-
environmental.
We've
foods,
done,
yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
we processed everything so much
Yeah.
our bodies don't have what they need. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
I
True.
truly think it's just us and through the generations.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my fear is I don't know if you guys have the same fear, but in the next generation, with people just sitting at computers and
Oh
telephones.
my gosh.
I mean,
yes.
What are you talking
They're
about? The
not
next
active.
generation.
Well, now, right?
Yeah.
we have become less
That's
active.
now.
Yes.
Each generation is less active.
Can we talk about
So
Facebook's
that's
like
scary. Yeah.
virtual
Yeah.
reality? Like,
Yeah.
that's-
What?
The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly.
the metaverse.
The metaverse. That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
They call
Why
it
is
the
this-
Matrix.
I bought-
I don't
bought
know
some
about this.
land.
What
talk,
is this?
Talk about it, Taylor.
It's created. I don't know if it's even active now, but it's Facebook's new social media. So you can put on a VR set and you can create your reality, and you can communicate with other people online. You can create your own space. You can create your own home. You can make it look like your own home.
I think
you
they can trade on that too, right?
You-
There's like
yes.
that now that you can buy properties on the virtual
Yes,
spaces.
and you yes.
virtual properties.
They
So
it's
I
called.
can
They
buy
have
a virtual
virtual
property in
stocks.
Hawaii and
Oh,
go
yeah.
walk around it with
Oh.
my VR headset
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Yes, you can.
You can do that.
You
Yeah,
can.
It's
And-
kind of
There's virtual
Oh my Lord,
stocks,
baby Jesus.
There's,
yeah.
you can buy
This-
like virtual avatars from
Wendy,
other people.
where are you?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
So
you-
Taylor, you will find this disturbing. So turn me on, key. So you probably won't be able to hear this. I don't know if you can hear it on mine.
No.
So basically, this is a virtual robot that it's something you're supposed to be able to give to your kids that teaches them social skills and
Oh my
what else
gosh.
did they say?
Well, this is the thing you were bringing up.
Well,
Yeah,
I 100%
well, I was talking
trust
about-
that thing to teach my kids.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was, and then there was a comment in here, and I don't know if I can find it real quickly. But it was let's change the world. Yeah, okay, that sounds like
Gosh,
and it's supposed to be to teach kids how to be social. So
interesting.
apparently,
Why don't we take the
Get out
diapers
and
off
play
their
with other
face and
kids.
let them go
Yes.
talk to children?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can
And
we-
that
yeah.
would work great.
Let's
The only thing I would
Kick
say
them
is
out of the house.
if they had this when I was a kid, I would have had friends. That's what At least one.
If you'd stop being mean to your brothers, you probably would have had friends too.
Probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
scary.
sad. That's so sad.
What
It breaks
the
my heart.
That is scary.
It breaks my
This
heart.
is my thing. And it sounds mean, so don't judge me. Nobody judges on this show. You have to go around kids because you have to get beat up at least once in your life because you have to realize how to act in the real world. That
yeah.
I don't even know what to call it.
Well, it builds
That
character.
thing
when you
is
have to
not
have
gonna, like-
conflict. Maybe not
Yeah.
beating up somebody, but conflict, right?
You need
It's
to get beat up.
good. It's good to have
I'm
that.
But you
assuming
need to be
you
able
had
to
to res-
talk to somebody. You have to be able to read somebody's face. So there was that poll, Taylor. I don't know if you were reading about it or not, probably because Alex is younger. So probably he's not in it yet.
Mhm.
But even Sedona was telling me that the kids don't know how to talk to each other because they've had diapers on their face this whole time.
Right.
So they don't know how to read each other's facial expressions.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
don't know
facial
how to talk
expressions
to
are
each
big deal.
other.
That is
And
Yeah.
for I mean, she teaches 4th grade. So she's like, this is crucial. That's all they go off of. You know darn well you can look at Alex and make a cry face and he'll start bawling
Mhm.
because he's reading your face.
Yeah.
That's all they know. They don't know anything else.
It's
So you're taking that away.
the
that's a
mask
good
and
point.
like the social
So all
distancing
these,
thing
like-
is so damaging mentally, especially for kids, I think.
Yes.
And having these young kids grow up and
Think
this
about these kindergartners
scared-
and
Yep.
1st graders that have only ever known that in school.
Yeah, it's
That's
That's
really
all they know.
the
That's true.
mental
It's
aspect.
We got robots now.
huge.
We have robots.
I know.
We'll
Get him a
Yes.
robot
Yeah.
that'll smile at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much is that robot though?
it was like
You want one, don't you?
It was like
I
$800.
do to let Bill
Well,
eat
she
it.
wants it for the dogs. That's
Exactly.
why.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's Bill's new friend.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. though.
right up until
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Shiva
Exactly.
starts slobbering all over it.
Oh, she was gonna drool over.
Yeah.
It's gonna be terrible.
Self destructs.
No question.
So Chris's comment, the crock of shit, what was he referring to? Do we know?
I think
The
that video
thing.
you put up.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the video.
Unless
So-
he's talking about me, which
So,
happens.
so what's the reason? What's the reason we're doing this to the kids?
Because
mean,
it's safe.
No,
They won't get the coronavirus.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
It's
There's-
not.
I think it's a
there's-
form of
I-
control.
So have you
You
not
think
read
that's what
the
it
book
is?
It's
1984?
not safe sending them out.
Yeah, and you can teach them whatever. So this is a little conspiracy theory.
Let's go with it.
I'm going with it.
All right.
So if I am the company who owns that doll,
Yeah.
you know that doll's going to have updates.
Right.
I control those updates. You don't. Those parents don't know.
Right.
Those parents have no clue. Think about the tablet you get your kid and
We-
you
we
send
already
them off
have-
for it.
We're already using a
Thank
robot.
you.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
But
same thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is still controlled semi by the parents. This
Semi.
doll isn't.
Yeah.
So if I can talk to you, I'm your best friend now.
Yeah.
I can tell
Build
you
trust.
whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good conspiracy. I like this is a good
That's
one.
scary.
I think I see this in a movie.
I'm just
I think it is
saying.
a
I think it's on one of those.
I think it's
Netflix
like
shows or something.
Yeah.
iRobot.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
Well,
So- yeah,
Okay,
something.
sorry.
1984, written in,
Oh, yeah.
1984,
Yes.
written in
Yes.
what, 49?
Yeah.
George
Yeah.
Orwell.
You know,
Okay, that's before me. So shh.
And even that was, it talks about, Big Brother had a all-seeing, all-hearing something in every apartment
Well, that we already
saw what
had.
was going, saw what you were doing.
Yes.
But see, this robot, as a prime example,
Well, and
Now
especially
it's-
with children.
it's got something that can see and hear in your apartment, in your house or whatever.
Right. And it's interacting with you. It's
It's
just
interacting.
Well, and especially your
Weird.
children. Like, what if it's going to talk to you?
Well, it
Honey
teaches
Boo
your
Boo,
children
read me,
to trust
read me a
those
story.
things.
Well, that's
What do you
the-
think
that's
this
the whole-
thing's going to read you?
That goes
Like,
back to the mask mandate, though, because
exactly.
if your kids feel safe and comfortable, and the parents feel safe and comfortable, well, you have more control over them as a government, right?
Yes.
So you want
Yeah.
them to listen to that and follow that, and when they do, that's basically
Great.
how you keep control.
Yep.
There's no question about
Chris
it.
just hit it right on the head.
Yeah.
We're creating a
Yeah,
world
that-
of
there you go.
followers.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
well,
think-
they might be free thinkers too, but then that
Right.
robot's going to say, "Oh no, no."
But the fear. So
I-
you
yeah, I
throw
was gonna
fear.
say, I'm pretty sure fear is a really good control. 'Cause
Oh,
if
fear is a great motivator in
feel
all aspects.
Yeah, so you feel uncertain about something, but these people have the answers.
They'll protect you. They're
and
going to
they'll
protect you.
You feel safe with them, but you don't feel safe over here in
No.
the real world. Or
Because I
dealing
was
with-
told that I can't be.
Yeah,
Like they're
so
dangerous.
I think it's a form of control.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I think
I want to speak to Mike's comments. So, Mike,
Go ahead, John.
I understand where you're going with this, but impeachment is not devised as a recall. It is not a recall of the president. Just because we don't think that he's a competent person, impeachment is not the option. It wasn't written for that. It's not a legal option for that. The 25th Amendment and the ability for the cabinet to take the president out for cognitive issues, hard to say, things of that nature. But just because he's a sucky president, you're stuck with him for 4 years.
elections have consequences.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Totally no.
But again, so Eric, on Story's point here, Biden's enslaved by the deep state and the far left, and that's part of the problem too. Is because anymore, do we as citizens, do we really have control anymore?
Not
I mean, we have elections, but do we truly have the
Not
control
at
over it
all.
anymore?
Who controls the media?
Right.
Well, we
Yeah.
know that we don't have control because
The
we know
narrative.
darn well that there's no way that this state went the way they said it went. And we have the
So-
proof of that, but yet it still keeps getting buried. So do we have any control? No, of course not, because there are so many more people that are powerful than the people. But we're starting to see this as we see our lovely shirts that Taylor's wearing and other things that people are actually standing up, because you can't just go off of what the TV says or what Facebook says or whatever. When I physically see you at, like when we were at dinner, when somebody physically sees you with that shirt and they say, "Oh, that's awesome. That's a great shirt." You know that you're not by yourself.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Selections, not elections. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Nailed
No
it.
question.
All right, we totally derailed off the nutrition and health thing, but like we always
As
do.
always.
Healthy
Well,
conversation.
Healthy conversation.
We always derail.
We have 29 minutes left. Where do you want to go?
I want to get back to the health and nutrition part of it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, what are we talking about?
We still have some segments to hit too. So, so where was I going with this? Now I totally got off
I don't know.
track.
You want to talk about gut?
I was going to say, what can the
About what?
average person do?
Oh,
There you go. That's
gut.
great.
What can the
gut
average
health
person
and
do?
Oh yeah.
What can we do in our daily lives? Like, I think fermented foods, personally. I
So-
think implementing that is good.
I 100% think so. I think so. New Year's coming up, like you were talking about. So everybody's going to be like, okay, I'm going to, change my life. I'm going to diet. I'm going to whatever. Don't diet. Dieting's bad. Make it real simple, because
Yes.
everybody's busy. Everybody's has life, has kids, has work. I get that.
Mhm.
Make it as simple as anything in a box is processed. Anything processed is bad. It takes out the nutrients. Make it as simple as taking out one processed food a month.
Oh, that's interesting.
Make it that simple, because
Yeah.
don't rush yourself. Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
Don't say, I'm going to change everything and throw away everything in my cabinets, everything in my fridge. You will never succeed, and you're going to waste a lot of money. Don't
Yep.
do that. It's
Does that
expensive right
I
include
now.
would agree with that.
So
Baby
make it
steps.
simple. Like, you have kids. Okay, great. We do boxed rice-a-roni. Okay, well, don't do boxed rice-a-roni anymore. Do real rice. Do real broccoli,
Make your
like
own
frozen
pasta.
broccoli in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do real seasonings and make it simple. Do one once a month, because it takes 30 days to make a habit. You know this.
Yeah.
So once you make that habit, 30 more days, you're like, oh, I didn't even notice I wasn't using that anymore. Okay, let's get rid of canned whatever. Anything that comes in a package is bad, essentially.
Yeah. That's the same with fitness, right?
Yeah.
Move.
Make it that simple.
Move.
Get
right?
up.
Get
Walk.
up and move. 10
Yes.
minutes the first
Walk
week.
the
or month,
backyard.
or 10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
It
You don't-
doesn't
you don't
even have to be that
You don't have
crazy.
to, right. You don't have to do 2 hours out.
Go to the
gate.
gym.
You don't got to
and
do a
it's-
marathon
No.
right out the gate.
And you
We
don't
don't
even
move
have to
enough.
get a gym membership.
No, you don't.
Walk the backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Walk
true.
the block.
Walk around the
walk
block.
your dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walk with the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you guys
Go
can
look at
talk
the
about this
Christmas
too.
lights.
Is a lot of people say, "Well, I can't afford weights. I can't afford gym membership."
You don't have to.
There's a lot of exercise you can do your own body
You
weight.
can do
Oh,
body
absolutely.
It's
weight.
just as beneficial.
Start with body
So,
weights.
yeah.
You don't need to buy anything. Start with
Yeah.
some push-ups. Do some squats.
That's cute. Push-ups are cute. That's
Jumping
funny.
jacks. Yeah, no.
We don't need to
No,
talk
just-
about that.
No, seriously.
Just
or-
simple
No.
stuff.
Yeah,
Seriously,
use your
I can
body
go to the gym and do weights, and Keith's like, "Can you do a push-up?" And I was like, "That's adorable, so cute."
Start on your knees.
That you think I can do
Start
push-ups?
on the
That's
floor,
cute.
push your body up, go back down.
I'm like, I'll go do some weights, and I can lift like 100 pounds. Totally fine. You want me to do? That's cute.
Well, I think we set these crazy, people that do these New Year's resolutions, they set these crazy goals
Yeah.
that are not attainable.
Don't be
And
nuts.
They go all in on diet, and then they go all in
Yeah.
on exercise,
And they
all
spend
at once.
all this
It's
money.
not going to happen,
No,
Yeah.
gas is $5 a gallon. Don't spend your money
Yeah.
on stuff
It-
you're not going to
We're talking
use.
about California now.
I was sort of
Okay.
singling
You
you
gotta-
out.
gotta
I'm
hit-
sorry.
Yeah,
well, at
let's
least
slow it
California is
down.
beautiful. Get outside.
Yeah, that's
Get
true.
out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go
When
to
you're
the
spending
beach.
$9 for gas, go walk the beach.
Yeah.
You can't drive there, but you can walk there.
Yeah, why not?
It's not to digress a little
No,
bit.
you're fine.
but I will.
Always.
I'm going to digress. So, I coach high school football. So, interesting as over the 15 years that I've been coaching, I've seen less and less kids coming out to play sports, less and less kids watching sports on TV, just getting, involved in team, activities and being a part of a family or a group. That's so
Yes.
important when you're growing up and learning
Huge.
lessons in life that, right now.
Teaches you how to get along with people.
Exactly.
Yeah, social skills.
And also just the fitness thing, right? Getting out there, not just being
Doing
in front of your
stuff.
computer.
Yeah.
It's not happening anymore. And we're
No.
seeing that more and more.
Well, and especially
in
with this
athletics.
whole COVID thing,
Yeah,
everybody's
absolutely.
scared. You can't be near somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Really? I'm in
Right.
a football helmet
Yeah.
smashing into somebody's face. I really don't think I'm going to get COVID, Mom.
Exactly,
Like, really?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sad.
So
Plus, you got to learn how to tackle. You got to be able to tackle it.
You do have to tackle.
take him
It
out at the
revolves
knees.
all
I don't know
around
what y'all
good
are doing.
tackling will save a team.
Blocking and tackling. That's
You
what
guys
I'm
just
saying.
won what, state championships?
We did. We won our state. Yeah.
Congratulations.
It was fun.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Do you get a discount on gas?
I don't.
No.
No, it doesn't matter.
And it wasn't worth
Haven't
it.
seen it yet.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
So I want to. I know I'm gonna regret bringing this up because we're probably gonna get kicked off YouTube, but
That's okay. It's 8:00. We're an hour in. They'll never watch this far.
we're gonna go over tonight anyway. I'm sure we are. So I'm not
You're
too
never
worried
going to
about
watch this far. You're totally good.
it. I want to talk about ivermectin.
Mm.
Only because it's been
You said the
been demonized so much,
Yeah.
and
You're not supposed to say
all
it.
the studies I've done, reading about it,
Amazing
it's-
drug. An
it's an amazing drug.
amazing drug.
even though it wasn't meant for
No.
COVID, it's
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
is very effective. So
There's a lot of repurposed.
There's
drugs.
There's a lot
No,
of
I
drugs
get
that
that.
have
What's the wiener
multiple
one?
purposes.
Yeah.
Used
Um,
off label. Yes.
Viagra wasn't. It was originally made for cardiac
Yeah.
issues.
Yes.
And then
Had-
they're
it
like,
had-
oh,
it had a
all
side
these guys
effect.
are like, hey,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah.
Side effect.
I have a problem.
It's funny. It's funny. You
For
mentioned.
4 to
I
6
don't know, nurse,
hours
why,
every
but all of a
night.
sudden I really.
I read your Wall Street report.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned two of the pharmaceutical actives that we're working on.
Yes.
One sildenafil, which is Viagra, using
Oh,
a different delivery
seriously?
system. Yeah.
Oh, I
absolutely.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So
That's
funny.
great.
Thank you for hitting on that. And then
I just, anything that makes wieners hard, it's good for
we,
all good.
we like to call it keeping couples together. All right?
There you go.
that's
Keeping the
all-
love
that's all it
alive.
is. So
I'm
yeah,
using that for sales. That's
exactly.
great.
I like it. I keep the love alive.
Keeping that love alive.
So as far as ivermectin, ivermectin, as you said, well, first of all, won the Nobel Prize for medicine. I don't know if you know that.
Years ago.
Yeah, years
I
ago.
didn't know
Years
that
ago.
existed.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
87,
You,
80.
you probably have me on that. The dates
I did.
are-
I looked through it
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
40, early 40s that it was found.
Yeah.
Then they did all the FDA stuff. I want to say it was FDA approved because it took forever,
Was it the
like
70s?
60s, late 60s,
60s,
early
70s.
70s. It took forever.
Yeah. So, and it's on the WHO's must-have list of all nations.
Why
especially
would it
working
not
markets.
be?
It's for parasites.
It is.
They've used it for multiple
Yep.
types of parasites, riverworm, things like that.
Yep.
Well, and
So-
it saved that one. It was called the man killer
The man killer.
because it killed all men in this one tribe. That's why this guy
It was river,
started
wasn't it
looking.
river blindness?
It was
too?
a- yeah.
That's right.
It started killing this. By the time you were like 40, like all the men were
Correct,
dead in
yeah,
this tribe,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
that's
And the nice thing about that, you got 40. Not the nice thing about these people dying in tribes.
people dying at 40.
Very
these
bad
days.
segue here, but anyway.
Good job.
But the nice thing about ivermectin has been around for that long, and you have so much data on the safety
And-
aspects of
yes.
it, dosing aspects of it.
Yes.
So there's a lot of potential there, and I say potential because it does. As far as the FDA goes, you do have to do.
It's
the
been
studies
cleared.
directly, but you do have to do the studies directly on
For what
the
you're-
virus. And, you know, it's been shown in a lot of these meta-analysis, if you look at the FLCC, shout out to those guys and Dr. Pierre Corey, working on that because, you know, they've shown in these meta-analysis with doctors and nurses and patients taking ivermectin that it's been effective.
It does very well, prophylactically and
absolutely.
Once
it's been shown to be effective, and they, you know, they have a whole system, but they're not just doing ivermectin; they're doing vitamin D, they're doing melatonin. Melatonin is an amazing antioxidant that's used for sleep at night, but it's also just a great antioxidant.
Really,
and that's part. And that's part of the you know, list of must-haves for the COVID virus. And
see,
you have,
that's
you have
why
a whole,
that's why I don't have the girlfriend.
Yeah,
because I take my melatonin every night. See.
He's going to run out of time if you
Sorry,
keep
we're
interrupting.
running out of time anyway. So.
No, well, no, but I was just going to say is, do you guys know FLCC and
Yeah,
Dr. Pierre? So he was in front of Congress. He talked about. He was the one that brought steroids to the forefront to use against COVID virus for
at the beginning.
Yeah, for the cytokine storm and saved a lot of lives.
Because the cytokine storm was doing the most damage at the beginning.
Yeah. Your
but
body
we didn't
was
know we were
we
were just attacking something we didn't know what we were attacking.
Exactly. So we're at our company. We are actually, you know, going into trials on that for the RNA viruses. You know, broad spectrum RNA viruses. But you know, I think it needs to be studied, and I think fast. Well, if you could get these 2 new drugs approved by Merck and Eli Lilly this fast, why isn't anyone really putting in effort?
Is that because they can't make any money off of it? Because it's already lost.
It's very inexpensive. It's a commodity drug, and I'd say if you're a big pharma, you probably don't want to do it.
Exactly.
I think Pfizer is creating something that's similar to ivermectin. I'm
sure they are. They're going to change one little molecule and be like, it's brand new.
It's not ivermectin, but it's something similar. They said it's going to be effective.
And interesting
because it's ivermectin with one molecule moved.
But interesting with the ivermectin, we talked about fat cells and adipose tissue. Ivermectin is actually fat soluble into the fat cells, so.
That's why it
leaches into the fat over time, and
that's why it does so well because
that's
it
why
gets
you give it a short period of dosing. You don't have to do long dosing,
right?
Because you do. They say prophylactically you can do it once a week. And you're good to go.
Yeah, depending on your size, so it's based, it's weight based, it's titrated. Like I said, not one size fits all. That's
but once you figure out what dosage you should have, they say prophylactically you're good at once a week.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
Now the reason it's so successful in such a short period of time is because it reduces the viral load, right? And that's why people tend to recover a lot quicker once they start the treatment.
Correct.
Yeah, because it stops the virus from replicating.
It has to do with the site binding. It's basically lock and key mechanism on the binding sites.
And once, really let's break it down.
Yeah,
because
breaking
it down. So let's say I have the girlfriend.
Right.
I have 100 viruses in me right now.
Right.
We're just making stuff up.
Okay.
I now decide to take ivermectin. So let's say those 100 viruses are making 100 viruses every day.
Okay.
So let's say I've gone 2 days. So I now have 10 million viruses or whatever, how many that is, what 100 times 100 is. Now, if I take ivermectin right now on day 2, I now will not make any more viruses. I have to fight the ones I have, which is fine. Like, so you're still, wow, I don't like my microphone. I can't move it, it hums. Yeah. So I still have what I have, but I'm not making anymore.
Yeah. So theoretically, that sounds great. But the way it really works is you have to create a saturation point on your receptors. Okay. So it's going to take time.
So it's going to take time before I can stop all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to take some time.
So some are still going to replicate, but not all of them.
Yeah. But I mean, less severity on the
absolutely.
virus. Absolutely. Yeah.
So the earlier I get it, of course, is going to be the better.
Yeah.
So that's why prophylactically it's amazing.
There was a great study, though. We talked about doctors and nurses, and they did this study. The FLCC reported and published the study. Actually, you can find this. I forget which journal. It's actually a major journal. And, reported it that they did 600, doctors in one side. And
I read that side. I read that.
Right, 600 that took ivermectin, 600 that didn't. And the percentage of, infection rate on the ones that didn't was so high.
Yeah. And the ones that did, I think it was like 2% or something that did.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And it wasn't even severe cases. Like they got it, but they weren't really sick.
Yeah.
I read that. That was when we talked about vitamin and viruses. It was a good read.
Yeah.
So we were going to have somebody on the show that Lindsay knew a while back, but it didn't pan out. But are you familiar with monoclonal antibodies at all?
Yeah.
Because you want to know about that.
What do they do? Right? Like what are they?
Well, they effectively antibodies. What the antibodies do? They attack.
They attack things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they attack foreign invaders. which would be the viruses,
Yeah.
bacteria, things like that. So basically, they introduce these monoclonal antibodies to attack the viral load or to the viruses itself. Yeah.
So are those, because antibodies are effectively the other side of the virus.
And your body creates antibodies.
Yes,
So your body
that's
creates
why
antibodies against, that's
when
your
you-
immune system at work.
Yes, when you get a vaccine, like
Yeah.
that's what you're teaching your body to
Teaching your
make is
body
those
create that.
antibodies
Correct.
to be able to say, hey, I know what this virus is. I can make this.
Right, like the
to fight it.
Right,
Yes.
mRNA vaccine will actually
Same as the flu, same
mimics,
as-
mimics the spike protein,
Yes.
and then absolutely. And
So
then
your
it
body
teaches
knows
you.
what it is. So
Right.
so the monoclonal antibodies are the opposite of the virus,
It's
or
not-
are they just a general?
It fights the virus. Yeah, it attacks the virus. It basically attacks it at its viral shell, probably.
So somebody made those monoclonal antibodies knowing that this is what this was
For COVID.
for COVID.
Specifically.
That's a great question. Did they actually engineer that
I don't-
for COVID specifically?
Because I've never heard of them before, but I
think they
don't
did it
know.
for RNA viruses
Okay,
specifically, but
just
I
in
don't
general?
think it was specific to COVID.
So it
Okay.
triggers that as an RNA virus.
Yeah,
sees
it
or
recognizes
something.
it
Okay.
recognizes its
Okay,
genetic
okay,
makeup.
okay,
and-
okay.
Because otherwise, you just got antibodies running around.
Running
your
around
body,
doing nothing.
trying to figure out
That's
what
why,
to do.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
John and Wendy, you guys are quiet. Do you have any questions?
I know. Well, trust me, we are not the experts at this.
You guys have any answers?
I wish.
Right?
Hello.
Hey, where's your coffee cups today? I didn't get to see them.
He showed the sock monkey.
Okay,
he showed
there you
it
go.
earlier.
Oh, she's got Christmas
Oh, Christmas
trees.
trees.
Oh, that's
Christmas
cute.
Oh,
I love it.
you want to know what? Keith didn't show his, and I'm sort of proud of his. I got his.
Nobody can see it though.
Oh,
It says
What does
Merry
it look like?
Sithmas.
It's a Darth Vader.
I like it.
at a piano. It's very appropriate.
Such a good girlfriend.
You are.
Like,
You
that's
are.
good. That's good girlfriend points. And I got me a half a bottle of wine gnome.
With
See?
an empty one though. It's empty now.
No, it's just a little
No.
bit. I'm sipping it because I don't, want to
She's
have that.
pacing
Interesting
herself
question.
for once.
So I have the $1 million question. So if
Yes.
ivermectin is so effective, why is it not being used? And those doctors that are using it, why are they being bastardized for doing so?
I know the answer. Do you?
Well, I know the answer, but I'll say it's a couple of things though.
It's like three things. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple issues with that. First of all, ivermectin is being used off-label, as you accurately said. Doctors are believing it and they're using it, and doctors use drugs off-label and repurposing drugs all the time.
All the time.
because they have other benefits, right? But really, it's because the FDA did not approve it for the virus. This is
And that would have to cancel their EAU.
it's a global event, right? It's a global event, and you have large big pharma that will
Can't
say
make any money off of
supports
it.
some of these, lobbyists and officials and what have you, that are highly against a commodity drug because they can't make money on it. So I think there's some issues there. I think it's unfortunate. If you read about the FLCC, I definitely think anyone listening should read about them. Really interesting comments about what they believe it is, and it's all political. It's very political based,
And
obviously.
Did you read about,
Yeah.
John? I'm surprised this wasn't in your headlines. The court that, what state was it? That
Illinois.
I sent it to you, huh?
It was in Illinois. So as a late 70s-year-old hospital patient, he had tried
Yes.
whatever the big, expensive.
Uh-huh.
We didn't know how far this story had gone.
Probably
so
remdesivir.
I didn't want to put it in there because of the fact that we didn't know if this was a local Chicago story, because we're both from Chicago, so we just see those.
I seen
Or if
it.
this was something that everybody else had seen also. So yeah, he had tried whatever the big pharma, expensive drug was that was supposed to be the best shot at a cure. It didn't work. His family had to go and get a.
Well, and he was
emergency court
ventilated
order.
now, which is
Yep.
why they had to go fight for him because the
They had to
hospital
get an
now wouldn't
emergency
listen to him
court order
because he
to be able
was
to get
ventilated.
To where
Oh,
he
the
could get
ivermectin.
ivermectin.
Oh, yeah, the wife, yeah.
So the wife
And
fought.
his the doctors at the hospital refused to do it. The hospital refused to do it.
Wouldn't
And
do
so
it.
they had to-
But that's the same thing. Our hospital wouldn't do it. They will not. There was one of our friends, one of your friends too. Wife has a friend whose husband was in the hospital and was in a Banner facility, because I don't give a shit anymore, and they refused to give them ivermectin. So the wife, same thing, was fighting with the courts to give him ivermectin. He was ventilated. I don't know if he made it or not. I have to reach out to her to see.
So
This
in
is
this
played out
in
a
the
lot.
story though, the family won. Eventually, the court ruled and got the hospital to relent. He got ivermectin. He's actually home and doing very well.
Doing great.
This story plays out over and over again,
Hundreds and hundreds
throughout
of
the
times
U.S.,
again.
throughout the EU.
So
It's
what do
happened so
we-
many times, yeah.
Well, Mexico, because you go
Mexico.
everywhere. You go
Me-
everywhere. Mexico has that, what, $5?
Yeah.
You come in and
Yeah.
say,
You
oh,
get
I
the
have a
pack.
positive COVID test.
Ivermectin pack,
You
yeah.
get ivermectin,
Vitamin D.
vitamin D,
That's
and
right.
zinc.
That's right.
And they send your butt home for $5 and you're better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
why can't we do
But
that?
$5 doesn't make money.
Right.
I know. Well, because
Exactly.
ivermectin's like 80 cents a pill.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing was for that patient back in Illinois, they actually had to use the Trump era right to try because the guy was listed as dying.
Yeah.
Wow.
They
So
told
they-
him he had like
Yeah.
48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Like,
they
he
gave him
was
the only reason
absolute-
that
Because they're
they
probably
were,
giving him remdesivir.
Well,
that was
and
it.
his number
That
was
it,
in.
yes.
maybe. Yeah.
I want to talk
Mhm.
about Dot's comment because he brings this up a lot. And
Yeah.
when I learned about viruses in school, maybe I don't remember everything I learned because it was quite a few years ago that I learned about it. But he says viruses never been proven to damage. I don't necessarily agree with that because when a virus takes over a cell and introduces
It kills it.
the viral load, it destroys a cell, right?
Yeah,
so
so
it
that's
is
damage.
technically damaging. But
Yeah.
I don't understand what he's saying about toxins do. So is it the toxin that the virus is giving out? Is that what he's saying? That is to why the virus itself? I don't.
That escapes me as well. I'm
Yeah.
not really clear on that, but
I'm not sure on that.
yeah.
But
But you're right. It does take over the cell. the host
Toxins
cells.
are bad too. I
Yeah.
mean,
right.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe your immune system would have built antibodies to kill the virus
the
anyway.
virus, yeah.
If you didn't have toxins.
I mean, I do agree with
Yeah.
that. Dot that we over medicate.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
1,000%.
And
yeah.
and like
As a
Rob said,
country.
1,000%.
our bodies are amazing, have an amazing ability to heal.
Yeah.
We just don't treat our bodies right to give it that edge to
That
be able to
edge.
heal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
I think we talked something earlier about just in general, something to do with natural, but the Spanish flu.
right.
We talked about the incidents when they ran out of hospital, space in the Spanish flu,
yeah.
and the flu was killing people.
Yeah. A
And,
real pandemic.
real pandemic,
Sorry.
and they basically had to
Not pointed
take,
at all.
yeah, exactly. They had to take the patients and move them outside.
Street. Mhm.
And
they did better.
And they they were in the sun. They were out in the open air. They didn't. Yeah. So
Mhm.
they actually did much better. And that
Than the
could-
ones in the buildings.
Right. So, vitamin D, being out in the open
But they didn't
environment,
know this back
things like
then.
that.
Plus fresh air, not
Well, they didn't. But
circulated.
there's a study on it, actually, that
Yeah.
really does talk about the sun and vitamin D and the
Huge.
Which is so funny that we were told to stay indoors and
Oh,
don't
Right.
go outside.
But
And
it's the worst
That's-
thing you can do.
That's when
Yeah.
you get to the point
Go to
and
the-
to where if you
Yeah.
have a brain, you're thinking, this doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like this just like
like
I
the
can't
opposite of what
I
you
can't
wanna
sit
do.
in my backyard with a mask off and enjoy the sun. Like really?
In Oregon, they actually shut down all the parks. You couldn't
Yeah.
even enter.
Oh,
the
they did
parks.
here too.
They barricaded them. So you
I don't
couldn't
know
even.
if they barricaded them,
Yeah.
but they shut them down. Like you couldn't be at the
That-
city
which
parks
makes
and
no
everything.
sense. You're outside. It's very difficult to catch it outside.
yes.
Well, it's hard to catch it in your car too,
It-
but
it's-
people
yeah.
wear masks by themselves.
by yourself.
And
yeah.
on motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very dangerous on motorcycles in California.
You know, I think
You're
they're
gonna
Coming
doing that
from
for-
your house.
They're doing that for the smog.
That's right.
That is-
Coming,
that's-
coming from your house, we got a picture of this dude on a motorcycle with a mask
Who
on,
did? Yeah.
driving down
And
the
it-
freeway,
and it
going
was a
like
blue- one of those blue
85. It was
it
the
was a
blue
diaper.
paper
Now,
ones.
if you're in a car with 5 people you don't know or something, and you
Sure,
don't
if
wear a
I'm an
mask,
Uber,
Uber,
driver,
it
helps.
absolutely.
It helps.
Mhm.
But
It helps.
if I'm in a
Yeah.
car by myself,
Yeah,
Yeah.
You look a little silly wearing a mask. I think. I don't know. Maybe it's a statement. It's a new fashion statement. I don't
Maybe
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So let me ask.
I've
I'll-
seen
I'll
him
ask both of these
bedazzled.
this question because I'm curious your opinion on it. So, if we continue to vaccinate, okay, let's say everybody got vaccinated. Okay, let's say we
the
continue.
blow
We
darts.
continue to mask. Okay, we're not only, in my opinion, we're not only destroying our immune system at that point,
Weakening
But-
it.
right? But aren't viruses or I'm gonna say viruses, haven't they been known over time to get I don't want to say smarter, but they
well, they get
evolve
smarter.
They
based
do evolve.
on
yeah, they mutate.
right. So one vaccine, and we've seen it. We've seen it over and over. The vaccine they're given is still for the original alpha, is it not? They haven't changed the vaccine.
Correct.
Yeah.
So all these other variants.
But
that
what
are
about our
coming
boosters?
along, but that's my point.
Oh,
All the other variants that are coming along, the vaccine's not doing a damn thing for them.
Well,
So-
it depends, right? There's still some components of that mutation that
Isn't it the
the-
spike protein?
right. The body could still recognize some
Yeah.
of that, so severity might
So
be
you have
less.
some of
You
it.
have some
Might some
antibodies
protection,
towards
but
it.
it's like influenza. Every
Yes.
year there's a new influenza.
You're gonna have a
vaccine,
different age
right?
and a different N.
Yeah,
But if
no
you
question.
have the H
Yeah.
and not necessarily the N, hey,
Right.
I can still do
You still
some
get sick. Yeah, you
damage.
still get sick. Yeah.
Like, but I'm still gonna be
Yeah.
like, but then my body knows how to fight it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not getting a whole. That's why the H1N1 was so bad.
right.
Because we didn't ever see an H or an N
Right.
like that.
Right.
That's why it kicked our butt so bad, because
Right.
we couldn't fight either side
Right,
of it.
Our bodies were not.
We
used
had
to it.
nothing.
Yeah. That's why this is very different
So,
too. This,
yeah.
the spike protein is very
Exactly.
very new to the body. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then I think natural immunity. if you
People's
create-
breath are terrible.
I'm
It's
sending
true.
some
It
Tic
can
Tacs
be,
to
yep.
work.
I
It's
like
very
that.
true.
Why do
But
you
if you
think
get
John and
COVID,
I
you
are in
don't smell
separate
people's
offices?
Right.
What,
That's so you can have your mask
Just
off.
good.
what were you gonna say, Taylor?
Oh my gosh. Oh, natural immunity. I if I'm not mistaken, you create more spike proteins. So like these
Absolutely.
variants, you have
Absolutely.
more antibodies
Yeah, you
versus
create-
the
yeah.
actual vaccine itself.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
specific to this one.
Just this
virus.
one. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
natural immunity is always better.
Because
right?
who
Yeah, no
knows
question.
Yeah.
what variant you could have gotten.
Right.
That's
Right.
true.
So,
That's true.
and there was actually studies that they were trying to do for healthcare workers, was saying that if you can do a blood draw and show that you have natural immunity, that they would take that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
So
it ever
yeah,
came to par,
so
but I
showing
know that there was
antibodies.
some
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, you're showing
hey,
the
I
levels
have
of
antibodies. Why would I get a
Right.
vaccine
That was
when I
swept under the
have
table.
antibodies? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I have a better chance of fighting it than that vaccine's going to give me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, they show
Yeah.
the efficacy rate of the vaccines over time, over a
It
shorter
wears down.
period
It
of time,
diminish.
is getting smaller and
Yeah.
smaller versus a natural
That's why you have
immunity.
to have
Why you need your
boosters.
boosters.
That's true of
Right,
any
right.
any type of
Any
RNA
vaccine,
coronavirus
yeah.
or absolutely.
So that natural immunity is going to stay with you. Even
Yeah.
if you lose those titers, your body's still going to have that blueprint. You still have that blueprint on how to make it. So you might not respond as quick as having those titers active, but you know how to make it.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Yeah, I think I heard something about.
Did
this
you hear about
saying,
that? Do you know the
yeah.
German scientists that revealed that was it graphene hydroxide? I can't read it very well.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
vats,
graphene
causing internal
hydroxide.
bleeding.
Internal bleeding.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh my gosh.
Why
Yeah.
do you think? Well, they found metal shards in the vaccines over in. Remember, we talked about that. I sent you guys that video. It was somewhere in the UK, and it was a doctor who was drawing blood from all of her patients who have got vaccinated, and she like in her lab, she never sent it anywhere
Right.
because she's like, I know they'll take it, and video recorded each and every patient's blood, and there was literally metal shards. Like when you're grinding and you get those little, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it looked like.
That's
And she's
interesting.
like,
That's a
what
mess up
the
somewhere, but
Yeah,
heck?
that's probably just a mess. Up
I'm sure
somewhere.
it is,
That's
but she
not-
had so many
yeah,
patients. So it
yeah.
might have been something from,
Yeah.
because they're not all being produced in the same
Yeah.
place. They're
Yeah.
being produced
Look, I
everywhere over
think-
the country.
yeah.
But I'm like, that would probably have something to do with bleeding, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
Yeah.
just
I mean,
saying,
I'm
like
not-
that
yeah.
might
I'm not
metal
a
floating around your
conspiracy
veins
theorist
could
on the
totally
vaccine. Yeah. I
do
think
something.
I think if you have an autoimmune disease or you have other issues depending
Yeah.
on the type of autoimmune,
Yeah.
or you're at risk.
Yeah.
Look, I think does it help? It probably does. I mean, there's some good research out there that shows it helps. Do I think it should be a mandate to get vaccinated? Hell no. I think that you just took freedom away from everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And kids that are healthy and young and adults that are healthy and young, it makes no sense to me at all. So
Well,
Yeah.
and
We
did
want
you?
people to take responsibility for their health, but we don't
Yeah.
want to give it to them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
it's my
yeah.
body when I want to murder a baby, but it's
Yeah.
not anymore
yeah.
because I want a vaccine. So
But the thing is,
I
the
do have
man.
it. Hold on. I want to ask Rob about this. Don't forget what you're going to say, though. Have you heard about the women and the breast issues?
Women and breast tissue.
With
Are
the
we still
vaccine.
talking about vaccines?
With the vaccine.
Want to be clear. All right.
We're not talking about Viagra.
Okay,
We're
yes.
talking about vaccines.
I gotta be careful. I don't know.
I know.
My wife might be watching. But, you know.
But have you heard anything about that?
No, I really haven't.
So
I heard about women skipping periods and things like that.
yes,
Yeah, menstrual
I've
cycle
heard
being
about
messed
plenty
up.
of that.
Sure.
But so but I think
Which
that
makes
goes
sense when you have an immune response.
well, and I think that has
honest.
something to
Right.
do with the
Yeah.
blood clotting thing that we haven't figured
And
out
there's some
yet.
blood-
Like
yeah.
that.
Listen,
I
more
think
people
that's
die.
the issue.
More people die taking aspirin every year.
Oh, every
than-
time, yeah.
than Tylenol, kidney
Yeah.
and liver. You know this. I mean,
So,
it's-
but they're now saying when you go and get a mammogram,
Mhm.
they're going to ask you if you're vaccinated or not.
Interesting.
So I've had friends that have gone up, 2 or 3 of them now, because I just had the one, but now I've
Yeah.
asked, now I got to ask, because I haven't gotten mine. They go up and they ask why. Why do you need to know? Like,
Right.
why would you need to know that for a mammogram? Like, you're gonna go squish my boobs between this. Like, what does that have to do with it? Like,
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with it.
Right.
So they say that the radiologists want to know because the breast tissue is changing.
Interesting.
It's becoming extremely dense, and
Hmm.
there's having a lot more lumps.
That's interesting.
And so
Okay.
they want to know because if you are vaccinated, they're not going to take those lumps as serious, which makes me nervous.
Got it. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying, like
Yeah.
that should still be looked into.
Sure.
But they're seeing it's common in almost everybody who's been vaccinated.
Really?
And I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's terrible.
Interesting.
So we're going to go over because I want to
100%.
take advantage of having Rob here because I got questions. But
Oh boy.
one of the questions I have, so you and I have talked about this kind of in detail a while back when we were first talking about the vaccine.
I may deny it.
You're probably
Probably
but
true.
you talked about how the idea of the mRNA technology has been around for a long time. They've done a lot of testing with it. Okay,
They've done testing. Yeah.
not necessarily with this particular vaccine on human trials,
Right.
but so messenger RNA is what tells it makes
Body,
our DNA,
our
right?
cells.
So yeah, right. It tells you how to build
Yeah.
the
It's,
cell.
it's teaching
right?
the It
So-
teaches, right.
So it's the blueprint.
Is there no possibility that the mRNA technology could potentially change our DNA to some extent if our body misreads
If that's the blueprint it's
information?
going off of,
Well,
could that blueprint not
I mean,
be?
I guess anything's possible.
could that blueprint not be changed?
Yeah, I don't know if it would misread it. I think the body's too smart to misread it.
No, but
but-
do we know that
Right.
what's being put in there is not?
It's the-
Yeah.
You mean like some other text message or something like that? Yeah. So
What about what about luciferase?
Yeah. Well, okay.
I'm
okay,
ju- I'm ju-
okay. All right, you're going down that path.
I'm going down
okay.
that rabbit hole.
Okay.
I've been here before.
All right.
No,
yeah.
It
Well,
looks familiar.
So I'll try to answer your question. So it's been researched for years, but it hasn't been. Listen, we definitely fast tracked the vaccine, on patient populations. There's no question about that. I think we also fast tracked Eli Lilly and the other, Merck's
yeah.
drug.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, which is good and bad potentially. Probably bad. I don't think you should ever, just
Fast track anything.
Fast track.
Good.
Oh my
I think good
gosh.
intentions.
Right.
Ideally,
I think
good
I think
intentions.
for the most part, I think there's some good intentions.
Started
no question.
out. I
But
think we've been manipulated
It-
since
it-
then. But
yeah, but the first patients it was used on in clinical trials was a rabies vaccine, mRNA.
okay.
So I think it was somewhere. I think the first patient population was probably about 8 or 9 years ago that it was tested on,
Okay.
with no side effects.
Yeah.
Or issues.
Right.
But again,
How long? It takes so long for
patient
trials.
populations. The problem is you don't know something's good or bad until at least a couple million people have used it. And that's
Yeah.
really true
And-
of all
and 10
clinical
years
trials.
later.
Right.
And at
'Cause
least
you don't-
like 5 years or
Yeah,
something.
like 5 to 10
That's
years.
why they do
'cause you have to-
post-market.
Yeah.
They do post-market analysis and
Mhm.
research. You don't know because again, it goes back to what I always say. We really should be looking at personalized medicine.
Exactly.
We shouldn't be doing one size fits all. It's
And
just not
everybody's
possible.
different.
DNA is
Yeah.
different.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah, no
So,
question.
and everybody's going to react to that differently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's why there's so many different medications for one thing.
Right.
Like for pain, you don't just have Tylenol. You have ibuprofen, you have Aleve, because everybody's body works differently. And we all
CBD.
know,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
We
mean,
all-
there's a lot of natural.
we all
stuff
know
work for
that
yeah.
like one thing works better than another.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Aleve works great for me. Tylenol's okay, but it doesn't really do as much
Mhm.
because we're all different.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Careful, don't take that too much. The Tylenols and
But no, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like it all
Ibuprofen,
works differently when
NSAIDs.
you have cramps.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly
Jamming
there's
pills,
things
it doesn't
going
even
on with
matter.
clearly there's things going on with the vaccine that we can't explain at this point. There's things that are happening. I mean, we've known some people who have passed on. We've known, and that's the whole frustrating part about mandating it for me is because we have a vaccine now that number one doesn't prevent you from getting the virus,
right,
doesn't prevent you from spreading the virus,
right,
will not treat. I mean, again, maybe lessen the severity, yes, but is not going to treat any of the variants that are out there. So why are we mandating it?
I don't think the vaccines aren't supposed to really treat though. Just to clear that up, it's not treating. It's an effective defense.
Right.
Basically, you're mounting in a defense against the viral, load or
So
a
your
virus
body
attack.
recognizes it, so
Right.
it's not like,
But again,
what the heck
exactly.
is going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It knows how to make it to fight
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Exactly.
But again, if you're overweight and you're obese and you have those other things going on, whether
Then
you're vaccinated
you
or
increase your
not,
risk.
it's not.
Yeah.
You're still fighting at a lower standard. You're still starting at 60%. Like,
Yeah.
Sure, no, that's absolutely true.
so
Yeah, it really does have to do with how you go into the fight.
huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important. How you get into the fight.
I'm
that's
not
my-
going into the war
Yeah,
without
yeah.
my pistol.
That's my point. Is why are we pushing this so hard when it's not going to guarantee anything? There's no guarantee. So why are we making everybody do it? What is the point?
Well, that's the thing. I'm against the mandate. So
Yeah.
I don't get that at all. Why we're making people do it? That doesn't make sense to me. Especially when you see, to your point, it's adapting, it mutates, and maybe it's less effective now against the Omicron, or it's less effective against Delta, and you're still mandating the same vaccine, right?
And you're firing
it's
healthcare workers over this.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and that's a very slippery slope. To me, that annoys me more than anything. Because who was at the front lines in the beginning was the healthcare
working
workers.
through this.
Absolutely.
And now you're getting
And
rid
if
of those
they're
same
gonna
people that risk their
choose-
lives. Yeah,
in the shitholes to not do it.
yeah.
Police officers,
Who's-
firefighters.
Who's the people who
All
are
the
going to know
employees.
exactly what's going to happen to you?
Yeah.
Like they're fully aware of
Absolutely.
their choice.
And they know the risk.
And they made
that
they
choice.
clearly
They
know the
fully
risk.
know the
Yeah.
risk. Like
Yeah.
you're not taking the grocery store attendant who hasn't dealt with it. Like these are the people who have ventilated
Physical
people. These are the
contact.
people who
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
physically there telling the husbands and the wives that they passed.
Yeah.
Like you're going to tell them that they're going to lose their job.
And if anything, they should have more of a right to say, yes, I want it, or no, I don't, because
They
they've
fully
seen
know.
firsthand
Exactly.
the effects of it on other people, on other families.
Yes.
And if they choose not to take it, we should respect that because they put their lives on risk
to do it.
to to
Right.
save these other people, to help these other people.
And they're not saying I'm not going to come to work because I'm not vaccinated. They're
They
saying I'm still going to come to work,
Yeah.
not being vaccinated, and be around these patients. And
We should applaud them, not fire them. It's
Oh, yeah.
we're doing-
Absolutely.
we're doing the
Yeah.
complete opposite.
Well, even what John said was 2 weeks ago. John, you were saying at the military now
Mhm.
that they're making you pay back a bunch of money if you don't get vaccinated. You
They're
basically get
threatening,
kicked out.
they're threatening Navy SEALs that if they don't get the jab, that they're going to discharge them and/or possibly make them pay back
all their training
$1 million training.
It makes no sense to me. That makes no sense.
I'll pay you
I-
$20
I mean,
a month.
I can't wrap my mind around all. Just
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah.
I mean, these are people
Well,
that
it's all about just they're strong arming them. is what
Yeah.
they're trying
Well,
to
they are, and it's so not definitive, right? That the vaccine's going to stop this and stop it. It's not. It's
Yeah.
going to mutate. It's going to
It's
continue
still
to
gonna-
mutate.
Right.
It'll be
It's
around
a-
for years.
It's a virus.
And-
So that's what makes
probably-
you think that there's something more to this then.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably less severe, but it's still gonna happen. It's not.
But see, even that I question only because of the fact
Yeah.
that you see severity range so much.
Yeah.
You know, Wendy had an aunt, 85 years old, who got it. She barely had a sniffle. You could barely tell that she
Yeah.
had it.
No, and that's the case.
And
It's
she
a
was
healthy
kicked out of the
person,
house.
right? Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was
But
quarantined.
you,
in a
on the
room.
other hand, knew somebody who was very healthy.
We did, yeah, and that's an
And-
outlier,
and
right?
it-
That's
yeah.
it's an out. But you can have somebody
But
last
again,
3
with
years ago with a
anything.
flu.
Right.
That
True.
Exactly.
That's
just
true.
happened to get some secondary complication.
Well, and you
and,
again, you don't
had an
know,
issue.
like if it is a
Yeah.
DNA thing, if there
Right.
is some weird strain that they're just that
Right.
1 in a million.
Right.
How do you know?
Yeah.
And
Just like
unfortunately,
cancer.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, and just
One,
like
you take two people, one
Mhm.
they may both smoke, one may get lung cancer and the other one might not.
Yeah,
Or somebody that doesn't smoke at all.
Right,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you even
Absolutely.
look at all the crazy anesthesia stories.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah.
one in
Oh,
a
yeah,
million
yeah.
person who had a reaction.
Yeah.
Or they wake up
Mhm.
during surgery and
Oh yeah.
Can't feel
yeah.
anything,
say
can't
anything. That
move.
scares me a lot.
Your
Yeah.
body metabolizes
Yeah.
it.
No, when I
Yeah.
had mine, so I was freaked out that I was going to be the one to die. Like
Yeah.
100%, never had anesthesia. And I was talking with the nurse the day before, and I was like, it's going to be me. Like, I'm going to be on the news tomorrow. Like, it's going to be me.
Yeah.
So, but I did have a reaction, not anything terrible or life threatening, but I was one of those ones who have get the super, like motion sickness, and they have to do
Oh,
the thing
yeah.
behind the ear.
Yeah, that can happen, yeah.
Blew all the blood vessels in my face.
Yeah.
Like it was
Wow.
so bad. I was throwing up while I was like passed out. Like I wasn't even awake and I'm throwing up. Like it was
I come out
so
angry.
bad.
When I have anesthesia, I wake up angry.
You-
I think I may have attacked a nurse or something like that once. I don't know.
That's okay. They just tie you
I
down.
think I
That's
have
fine.
to warn people when I'm.
They tie you. That's good to know because they'll just tie you down while you're knocked
exactly,
out. That's fine.
Exactly.
So I think at the beginning, and it's unfortunate for the people who got hit with this early on, but I think, and I said this about a month ago when we were talking about this on our episode. I said I think this thing came out of the gate and it scared the shit out of a lot of people
Oh,
because
yes.
it's a virus that was made in the lab. It was doing things that we've never seen before. It was
attacking
attacking
multi-systems.
specifically, right? And I think we were just trying to throw everything at it we could to treat this thing. And I think unsuccessfully
so
we did some
many
bad
people-
things in
yeah.
the beginning. I think that's why a lot of people passed away from it in the beginning. We didn't know what we were doing at that time.
Right.
Now
We
know
were
more
throwing
about it,
everybody
so
on ventilators. We
weren't proning, we
defending
weren't,
anybody.
yeah,
Yeah, it was just all bad.
Yeah,
but we didn't know.
proning's a big deal.
Yeah.
Proning's
That saved a lot
huge.
of people.
Mhm.
You know, that whole
Huge.
yeah.
But how long did it take us to
It
figure
took a
that
long
out?
time. It
Months.
took a long time. Yeah.
Months.
Yeah.
Until somebody was like, "Hey, let's do this and see what happens."
Yeah,
and the nurse was
absolutely,
like,
yeah.
"Well, let's not get fired, but here we go."
Yeah, yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
probably how it happened. Like,
Absolutely. I
Crazy.
agree.
So at a bare
So-
minimum, do we need to do our homework assignment?
Yes.
I am
don't
dying
have-
to see.
I don't
I am
have a
dying to see
hooker.
dots.
Yes.
All right. Let's do.
I don't have a hooker.
That's all right. We already run way over.
So, I know.
but
That's
I
good.
feel
We-
bad
we
I
can-
don't have a hooker.
We can go to 9. We're good. So we talked about favorite Christmas ornaments
Oh yes.
last week. So we'll show some that John.
Oh, we
and
have to
Wendy
talk
had sent
about.
over.
Are we gonna do dots first?
You want to do dots
Yeah,
first?
do
Let's
dots first.
Yes, let's do
Uh,
dots first.
Yours was awesome, by the way. We
Love it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, that is.
Are you
freaking
gonna put a
awesome.
1 over the 0 for this year? And
It's
just
close.
keep adding it
Just
Tape
on.
Put
it on. Kind of
put it with
half-ass
toilet
tape it
paper.
on.
Yeah,
Yep.
just keep
One.
adding it on.
Yeah, that is awesome. So these are ones that you guys had sent over. I love that.
Oh, best thing ever. That's cute. Where did you get that from?
I haven't purchased it yet.
Okay,
Just found it online.
just found it.
No,
It's
that's-
super cute.
That's awesome. I like this one too.
Yeah, can I get that?
That's a good one.
Can that be on my?
Okay, you guys are gonna have to talk about these.
So I guess I didn't realize that we were doing funny ones. So these are more that have
Mine's not
been
funny.
in the family. So my daughter made this like years and years ago. It will always be on a tree.
That's awesome.
No, I love that.
That's cool. No, it wasn't all about funny ones. It was your favorite ornaments. So just anything sentimental or
Mm,
And
Oh,
this
that's so
is-
cute.
And this is one that I found I've had it since years and years and years. It just reminds me of like grandma's quilt. Someone took it and made it into a stocking, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, I
that's
love that.
cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
That's adorable.
I think I have a sock like that.
Is that your other sock? Are you missing it?
I'm missing
Is that the one the dryer
I
ate?
think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't pick one, so this is one that I made like in kindergarten,
Oh, okay.
Oh, cute.
and it's
That's
still
nice.
around.
What, you made
Baby-
that? Oh,
Wow.
that's,
Baby
Oh,
Santa.
that's awesome.
Well, with a lot of help from the teachers.
Yeah,
Right.
as we all do in kindergarten.
I still
Oh,
need
that's cute.
Is that Baby John?
Oh,
No, it's not,
Son
baby
made
John.
that. So, if my daughter has one that she made, I gotta have one for my son. So
I
Nice.
know.
That's nice.
No favoritisms here.
no, that's right.
That's cool.
I don't
like
think
that.
any of my ornaments made it to the tree. I'm kind of weird.
The ones you made
I
in
don't know
school.
what happened? Yeah.
They're in the box still.
I don't think I was the artistic one. I'll tell you that. Yeah, not at all.
I'm sure you weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
You had that one watercolor one, didn't you? I'm just kidding.
That was the.
Is he a window
Pay
licker?
by numbers.
Was he a window licker when he was younger?
He wasn't.
I missed a couple of numbers though. That was a problem too.
It was all one number.
Exactly.
Want to show you this?
Oh,
It's gonna disappear because it's green.
but they'll see that orange part of it. You can't see it. It's hold on. Let me go this way. It's a Tigger.
It's a Tigger because she loves Tigger.
Oh, that's cool.
Tigger.
That is cool.
I like that
Baby
one.
Tigger.
I like that.
So I have
With the book.
Oh yeah, he does have.
He's
books.
singing
Oh,
his
yeah.
carols.
That's cute. You got a whole collection of them.
I do. It goes with the whole Disney
It's a
box.
whole set.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Collect the whole set.
Oh, cool.
And they're all like, it's so cute. Well, they're all singing carols. Look, I didn't even know. I only like the Tigger.
She just pulled out the Tigger. That was it.
Yeah. There is favoritism. It's fine.
So I have a lot of favorite ones, but this is one that means a lot to me. If you can't see it, it's supposed to be like a slide trumpet or a trombone.
Put it towards your
trombone.
shirt,
Put it like right there.
like on the black.
That really doesn't help.
But-
It looks like a
forward.
safety
Here,
pin
hold
or
on.
something.
But
So-
forward.
Hold on.
You gonna go to the camera
I'm
with
going to
it?
go to the camera.
Well, it's okay. You don't have
Hold
to
on.
do that.
That
That's
actually
okay.
brings
I
back
just ran over a
memories from
pity. I'm so sorry.
listening to the trombone play.
Was it? It sounded like a dying
I remember
elephant.
in the beginning.
Yeah,
in the beginning.
You know that. You can
Wow,
put it
was
up
Keith
to
a trombone player in
He
high
was.
school?
He was.
I was.
Yeah, he was a trombone. I think he played
Oh,
every
oh.
instrument though.
that. There you go.
A
There.
little bit
Whoa,
back.
there's your Tigger.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
That's good.
Okay, there's your Tigger.
I like it.
Yeah.
Much better.
There you go. Now you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So
Almost looks like a French horn.
yeah, right. But it's got a slide on it, so
Okay.
as a trombone, it's a slide French horn. I don't know. So Mom had bought me when I was younger a lot of the musical instrument ones, and that's one that just kind of stands out for me.
You got the music side. I think
Yep.
the autistic side.
There you go.
I tried out for drums, and they told me try something else.
Like, here's a science book.
Absolutely. They sent me down the hole somewhere else. I forget where it was. But
They're like, go to chemistry,
it
blow
didn't
something
work.
up.
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
don't
okay.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that.
exactly.
All right, John. Funny story.
Funny story. Oh, okay. Luckily, it's a short story. There once was a farmer whose wife had died and left him with 3 beautiful teenage daughters. Every weekend when they went out on dates, the farmer would stand at the door with his shotgun, making it clear to their dates he wanted no trouble from them. Another Saturday night came around 7 p.m. There was a knock at the door. He answered. A young man said, "Hi, my name is Joe. I'm here for Flo. I'm taking her to the show. Is she ready to go?" The farmer thought he was a clever boy and wished him a good time. A few minutes later, another knock was heard. A second boy appeared and said, "Hi, I'm Eddie. I'm here for Betty. I'm taking her for spaghetti. I hope she's ready." I thought, he must know Joe. And so he said, best wishes. A few minutes after that, third knock was heard. "Hi, I'm Chuck." The farmer shot him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You got to think about it. You got to.
I don't really have to think about it. Yes, that's good. That's good.
That was good.
What's his daughter's name?
Doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Because they all rhymed with their daughter.
Yes, there's a bug in here.
Not anymore.
Rob was trying. Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
She shouldn't need chopsticks.
I tried to get it with the chopsticks.
Oh,
Damn.
you
Another
did.
thing I'm not good at.
Never
Bam!
pissing you
That's
off.
what happens half a bottle of wine later. See?
Wendy, you have a
Dang.
Darwin story this week or no?
I do not,
Okay.
but next week.
So
No Darwin, no Hooker. It's been a bad week.
Alex
So I'm-
Baldwin, come on, can
Oh,
you just say
right.
that? Baldwin?
I did. I am
What?
officially fired.
yes.
Woohoo!
I think that's congratulations. Does that sound good?
Congratulations, I'm officially fired, and the lawyer's going to have a field day.
There you go.
And I can officially say that I have a new job.
Yes, she does.
I am I have to think about it because it's a big thing. Regional sales coordinator for Highgate
Oh, you got the
Hotels.
regionals job?
She
Bam!
did.
It's awesome. Congrats.
Wow, nice.
I'm trying to be the manager because the one girl put in her 2 weeks and quit. But my boss has yet to convince her boss that I know that I can do the job. So.
Lin-
Because
Lindsay,
I've never done sales. I was like, I could totally do this. She was like, yeah, we have to prove him that first.
Lindsay went up to a boss and said, "Hold my beer, I got this."
I'm like, hold my beer. I got this. So I'm learning the job, and hopefully,
Somehow I believe that, by the way.
yeah,
That's
could
awesome.
100% happen.
right?
Yeah,
So mine happened. So sorry, you're making me
What?
there's stories going on in my head.
Oh.
So hopefully in like 6 months, there's nobody who's qualified, and she can be like, "Hey, we have Lindsay,"
We'll just transfer you into that
and she's
position.
been learning how to do it anyways because I'm sort of like, we're all kind of filling in. So
Possibility.
I'm
That
just
works.
saying, just
Awesome.
running the world.
So we have the ultimate question we have to ask our guests this week and see what the answer is. The movie Die Hard. You know
Oh
the movie
Lord,
Die
baby
Hard?
I
Jesus!
did.
Yes.
Yes.
You know it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christmas
Wendy
movie
Held.
or not a
Right.
Christmas
Oh
movie?
Jesus!
What about it?
Is it a Christmas movie or not a Christmas movie?
It is
Die
not
Hard.
a Christmas movie, and yes, I've seen that. And no, it's not.
Thank you.
No, it's not.
It was during Christmas.
Is it a boy thing?
It's actually an action.
Like, is that a penis thing?
action
Like,
Christmas
we
movie,
don't
right? Why not?
we don't
Yeah.
understand
got-
because we don't have enough testosterone. I don't get it.
Have you guys seen Love Hard? Is that why?
No.
No.
What?
Wait,
No.
what's Love
Watch.
Hard?
Whoa.
Okay. Watch.
What is Love Hard?
Watch this movie on Netflix because they literally that's like how these two people fall in love is because they both think Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Oh wow, there you go.
Yes.
Hey, that's
Oh,
awesome.
So-
really?
Wow.
So who's
Yes.
in that movie, Love Hard? Is there anyone
Oh.
we know?
I don't know. Jake knows the girl. He like
Okay.
is in love with her.
Jake, what's the girl's name? Not that
Text
you're
us.
actually
If
still
Jake's
watching because
still
you're
on,
probably
which he's
sleeping.
probably not.
He's probably sleeping with Alex.
Oh,
That's all right.
don't quote me
We'll
on
watch
it
it.
because I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Love
I don't
Hard.
know.
Just watch
I'll have
the
to watch
movie,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Not a Christmas
It's the
movie.
girl from Vampire Diaries, Nina Dobrev or something like
I
that.
have no idea.
Brown
No idea.
hair. She's
Sure.
cute.
I think I'm
She's
too
cute.
young for that show. No.
Yeah. But yeah, Love Hard. That's funny. That's funny that you guys asked that.
Yeah.
So not. We've been fighting about this for like a month now.
That was the
Yeah.
big question, huh?
That was the big question.
I started sweating too.
Well, yeah, you're getting
He
nervous.
was all nervous.
Fine,
Did
yeah.
we pass the test?
You did 100%.
You
Rob
did-
did not.
You did.
I-
He has to get back his M&Ms.
I heard. I got one pass, one fail. I don't. To me, that's
Oh.
you know.
That's even. Even
That's
split
good
right
Hey.
there.
Wow.
Wow.
So wash.
50-50.
Not
So
too
wash. It's invalid.
I think it's a penis thing.
John, what do you have playing on your thing right now? I see it in the background. Are you playing Die
I'm
Hard?
trying to find the
Oh, he has it in the.
so
What is it?
I have Die Hard up on YouTube.
bad. Oh.
I'm trying to find the section where Bruce
There's a
Willis is
Christmas
in
tree
the-
in it. Nobody cares if there physically is a Christmas tree in it. It doesn't make it a Christmas
It's
movie.
not a Christmas
It's a Christmas
movie.
But
No,
we were
I'm
watching it earlier this week, and I took a picture and sent it to the group, and literally showed the spot where Bruce Willis is in the dock with the lighter. Oh, come on down to the coast, we'll have some laughs. I'm trying to find that spot, but I can't
Wow.
find it.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, Taylor, why don't you tell everybody about your little adventure you're starting up?
Yeah, so I have a new website that I want to do online coaching and help advise people with fitness and exercise and working out and just getting
Right.
healthy. And
Very good for the new year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you have the website yet?
I do. It's called balancedapproachfitness.com. So
Oh, I like that.
yes.
Ooh,
It's-
that's nice.
Yes,
Balance
ba-
approach.
Yes, because I think that
It is a balancing act.
yes, I think that
Very
that's key.
good.
So
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, 'cause you can't-
congrats.
You have to make it for you. Like, so you're making that balance. Like we were
Yes.
talking about earlier, making that balance between real life and ridiculous expectations.
and everybody's life
You-
is different.
Exactly.
Some people have kids. Some people don't have kids.
Some
They
people work 12 hours a day
Exactly.
and they're a single mom.
Wow,
and
that was synchronized.
Yeah,
That was
right?
synchronized.
Yes,
Good job.
but it's
That's
true.
because Die
so,
Hard's not a movie.
So yeah, so
Now I'm
it's,
really perspiring. Let's open it out
Now
there.
he's really nervous. Now he's really nervous.
but yeah, so personalized stuff. Yeah, so you can shoot me an email. You can visit the website, and
Awesome.
yeah, we can do a consultation. I can talk to you, and yeah, we can go from there.
Go check it out.
And it's finish your balancing act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly.
Congratulations.
So what is
Yes.
what is
Thank
that
you.
website again? Let everybody know.
Balancedapproachfitness.com.
Check it out.
And you're going to put that on our website.
I'll put it up there. I'll put it
Good
up on our
job.
Facebook
Awesome.
page.
And what's our website?
It's Coffee Table Chronicle.
Nose.
Not z-
It's not
Co-
It's a
Balanced
chronicle.
Approach
Chronicle.
LLC.
Yes. Yeah. LLC.
Okay. .com.
Yep.
There we
That's
go.
it.
There it is.
Bam.
That's nice. Hey,
Yeah,
I didn't give you
that's not-
permission to use my picture.
That's
I
not
just put
helping
that out
me
there.
with my balance
Rob, that's
approach.
I was gonna say that's a nice bra you got on.
Oh, you were going that way. All right.
Turn that off. Turn that off.
There he is.
That is garbage.
Look at that.
Turn it off. That is not Christmas. Where's your Christmas trees? I don't see any Christmas stories. I don't see any
Oh
snow.
my god,
Probably one of the best.
It doesn't give you that
Movies
warm
ever.
and fuzzy feeling.
it was a great movie.
Yeah, I don't feel warm and fuzzy.
Great movie.
All right.
I mean, I'm all for
Come
throw
on, the
punching
best
people.
part is coming up. You know,
John, you're losing the fight, John.
Absolutely
You
not
lost the
winning.
fight.
Writing on his.
We're in trouble.
He's speaking in German.
And
This
no-
is not.
Nobody can hear anything. Speaking in German.
It
doesn't
literally
matter.
just said he's speaking,
Oh.
speaking in German.
It said that. Yes.
Disappointed.
Crazy. All right. Well, we're about out of time, but I want to thank everybody for hanging with us for this extra half hour, and want to thank you guys for coming
No
on.
PSA?
Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it. John, do you have a PSA?
I just, I'm going to abbreviate it. And I'm just going to say, this does not shoot itself.
And what do you need to check?
For the safety police, it takes this long for Alex Baldwin to sit there and just verify the thing is empty. It doesn't shoot itself. He pulled the hammer back because his was a single fire, and so
But I thought he
to sit there and
pushed.
say that this thing fired itself doesn't happen. So just saying.
You were
His,
so
his
like.
Was it a revolver or was it a?
it was a revolver, so it's an old.
It was an old Western they
Yeah,
were
it was a
filming,
Western.
wasn't it?
It's an old Western. It was a 45 caliber revolver.
Oh yeah,
So
that
he
looks
sits there and he
worse.
says that he didn't do it. It's not his fault. He doesn't feel any regret for it.
Doesn't
and,
feel any
I'll-
regret. That
I'll talk
Blows
more
my
about it next
mind.
week. I'll
All
talk
we'll bring it up
about it
we'll
next
save
week.
it for
blows my
next week.
mind.
We'll bring
How
it
do
up
you
next
not
week.
feel regret? I feel regret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know him.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like terrible.
Well, it's what happens when you have a lot of money and you're an ass? What
When
can
you're
I
an
say?
asshat.
Right? So,
No, you know.
hopefully, maybe you guys can come back on the show.
Yeah.
eventually. We can
Yeah,
do
I'd
the same
love to
thing.
come
We
back.
do it remotely.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You can be
Thanks
in the
for
little
having us.
boxes next
Okay,
time.
Good. Yeah.
You guys can be in the little boxes,
Yeah, we're all going to sit around and
Much
watch
better
Die
than
Hard
that.
before the show.
right? Yeah, exactly.
You guys will just switch boxes.
Exactly.
It'll be fine.
So,
Thanks
John,
for
Wendy,
having
we'll
us.
see you guys next week.
Yes.
We'll talk more about Alec Baldwin next week.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
There you go.
Merry Christmas. Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet, not yet. Too early, too early.
All right, guys.
Too early.
People out.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And as always, thank you to all our military, our first responders, and our police
Veterans.
officers and our veterans. Absolutely. Thank you for what you do.
Thank
and our
you.
healthcare
Thank you.
workers.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We'll
Cheers
see you
to
guys
that.
next week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Peace out.
See ya.
Peace out.